Welcome everyone to another session of the free live YouTube channel and website reviews. If you are watching live, go ahead and drop a hashtag live down below. If you're watching the replay, drop a hashtag replay. Let me just double check to make sure I'm going live. One time I thought I was going live and then I checked and I actually wasn't. So if you can hear me, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Okay, I see that it's working. If you can see and hear me okay, let me know down below. And I think we're just going to get started right away. I know we have some people trickling in. I have 7 people whose channel I'm going to review today, along with their website. If you would like me to review yours, but you haven't filled out a form, there is a link down below and you can submit the form. And once you do that, then I will check out your channel. If it's eligible, then I will review it during this session today. Awesome. So let's get started. Let me share my screen with all of you. Okay. Share, present. Alrighty. Again, everyone, welcome to today's session. If you don't know about me, my name is Ari. I go by Ari the Creator. I was a 4-year intern for TEDx where I learned all about YouTube, marketing, branding, graphics, websites. The list really goes on. And then after I graduated from college, I attended Tony Robbins' Business Mastery. And from there, I started this business where I help people to turn their YouTube viewers into buyers of what they're offering. So I specifically help business owners to turn their YouTube into a business. And so I built a 6-figure business after I graduated from college. And I've worked with some really well-known YouTubers with over 1 million subscribers. And I've helped even smaller YouTubers as well to build their brand and to get their first sales. So how this will work, again, you must have filled out the form below in order for me to consider reviewing your channel and your website. I am going to be favoring those who are here today live. So if you're here live, which I see some people are in the chat, if you're here live, then I will review yours first. Some people today said that they couldn't attend live, so I'll still be reviewing their channel and then they can watch the replay. Still pay attention and take notes if I am not reviewing your channel, because you can gain a lot of insights just by listening to the critiques that I give others. Also, many have asked me how can they leave a tip, and there is a link down below. This is totally not expected, but it is appreciated. The best thing that you can do as a thank you is just to spread the word. If you know another entrepreneur or someone who is using YouTube to build a brand and create some form of positive change, create a change in their own life and in the world, then just let them know that I do these reviews twice a month. You can share with them the link where they can sign up. And that's the best way that we can help each other, is just to pay it forward, let other people know, because I do these for free, because genuinely I want to help as many people as possible use YouTube for good. There's a lot of I call it garbage content out nowadays, where people are just putting out mindless content that's just triggering people's dopamine to try to keep them on the platform. And what good is that really doing? So I'm here to help conscious experts who are using YouTube as a way to do good. And so if that's you, feel free to spread the word on this, or if you know of someone. Awesome. So at the end, I'm going to tell you more about my YouTube Business Accelerator. This is a group and also a private support program where we will support you to maximize sales of your courses, coaching, and memberships by optimizing your web pages and your YouTube content. So I really stand out because I help people to really connect with their essence and show up the way that they want to. There's a lot of YouTube gurus who say that you need to do X, Y, and Z. And so a lot of YouTubers and entrepreneurs, they're doing things because they feel like they need to, not because they want to. And they're forgetting why they started this in the first place. And they're actually losing their true essence. They're not being authentic. It's like they're filtering themselves. You know, they're holding back their true light, their true story, their true personalities. And so I'm here to help you to be your most authentic self. And I'm not saying the science of thumbnails and good titles and SEO doesn't matter. They do. However, that's 20% of the pie. In this program, I do help with that, but I mainly help you to reconnect with who you are so that you can show up in the best way possible that feels good. And guess what? You'll get more results that way. YouTube is all about how can we get people to resonate with us? How can we position ourselves as a leader so that we can help them even more? So there is a link down below. I'll tell you more at the end, but you can book a discovery call with me if you're interested. But to begin, I want to start with an analogy because not many people are talking about YouTube in this way that I'm about to share with you right now. So think of your YouTube channel like a house. When people first visit your house, they're going to gain a first impression, and then they're going to decide if they want to stick around, keep revisiting, invite others, and eventually invest in what you're offering if you have a business. They will if your messaging and your branding is clear and appealing. Clear is better than clever. So you want people to know in an instant what type of value they can gain from your channel. They also need to understand what problem you solve and for who. Again, this needs to be crystal clear. They shouldn't have to use a lot of brain energy to try to figure out what problem you solve and for who. It should be like that. And again, sometimes YouTubers and entrepreneurs, they try to help everybody, but when you try to help everybody, you end up helping no one. So for example, one of my clients, you could tell by looking at his channel that he helps young men with personal development. You could see it clearly. Last week, I helped two women practically in the same niche. They were helping with the aging journey for women. And so you see how clear that is? And so I don't want you to feel like you're putting yourself in a box, but there's a way to do that where it's clear and people stick around on your channel. They also need to get to know, like, and trust you as the expert. So this comes across as you showing yourself professionally, you, again, showing the true parts of yourself, giving value, giving your knowledge, giving your expertise. So today I'm going to help you to establish a sturdy foundation and ensure that your audience understands your channels and your business's purpose. So these are the components of your house that I will critique and analyze. And I got really fun with this analogy. It really is like a house. Like your niche is like the foundation. You have pillars, which are like subtopics. Banner is often a first impression. It's like it encapsulates what you do. And then the thumbnails, they're kind of like paintings on the wall. Sometimes people's first impression is a thumbnail because it shows up on their YouTube homepage or as suggested. But when they click on your channel, they're going to see like all these components here. They're going to see the profile photo. They're going to see the trailer and just how everything comes together. So let's see who goes first. So I used to pull from a bowl, but today I'm going to be favoring those who are here live. Hey, Matt, nice to see you here. It's good that you're here to listen because there's a lot to take note of. So who wants to go first? I think we have someone who signed up in the comments. Let me just double check to see if she's still here. Leave a comment if you are, and I will favor you. Let me pull up your channel. Let's see. Yeah, we have Terry, who I think is here. I think we'll let her go first, unless if Mike wants to go first. I see you're here, Mike. Whoever leaves a comment next. I might do, let's see. Okay. I'm going to do you, Terry, because I know you signed up. And then I'm going to do Mike next. Unless Mike needs to go soon. Yep, Terry, I see that you signed up. Okay, how about we have Mike go first? Because I know he emailed me before saying that he wasn't sure if he could attend. So we'll do Mike, and then we're going to do Terry right after. And if anyone else pops in after, I will do theirs next if they leave a comment. Awesome. Let me pull up Mike's channel. I have his YouTube. And then I'm also going to be critiquing your website as well, because the two go hand in hand. Remember, everyone, I'm not a traditional YouTube coach. I'm here to help you turn the viewers on YouTube into your dream clients. And those of you who signed up who may not have a big audience yet, you don't need to. I got my first high-paying client when I had 200 subscribers. So here we have Mike. Leadership with Mike. I love the color scheme. I'll say that right off the bat. By the way, if anyone is interested in leadership, feel free to go over to Mike's channel and subscribe to him. I saw that he posted on LinkedIn the other day that he just surpassed 50K subscribers, which is a huge milestone. Let's get you to 100K. Let's get that silver play button. I want you to envision yourself holding that silver play button because when we have a clear vision, then every day we can work to close the gap. It's a good milestone with YouTube. It's good to strive for the silver play button, not for vanity's sake to show it off, but just because it's a huge accomplishment. Alrighty. That's a small goal. It's still a goal to strive for. You're halfway there. Okay, so let's check out what we have here. Leadership is not easy, but it can be simple by building self-confidence. So it's clear what problem you solve. It's clear that you help people with leadership. I mean, it's in bright yellow letters. It's in the name, Leadership with Mike. It's very clear what you do. I'm immediately curious who you help with leadership. Do you help a particular demographic? Maybe you help, I don't know, there's a lot of leadership programs. Maybe you help people in corporate. Maybe you help entrepreneurs. Maybe you help, some of my clients serve a particular gender. It doesn't look like you're doing that, but let's see, maybe you are. Let's see. New managers. So you're helping new managers. So it would make it more clear if we said here, new managers somewhere. So maybe we can have a tagline that says something like, okay, recently promoted. Okay, so maybe we can have a tagline here instead, because again, I can tell what problem you're solving, but I don't know for who. So maybe we can simply say, helping new managers who were recently promoted to establish strong leadership and self-confidence. Something like that. And again, everyone, just because if Mike here chooses to put that at the forefront, that doesn't mean that he's not being in service to other people. That's just like what his main niche is. So for example, like I'm sure many people here heard of Alex Hermosi, his YouTube channel. I mean, you could still have topics on your YouTube that are more broad. However, like your target audience, the person who you help, like your ideal client, they're the people who get funneled. Like Alex Hermosi, like he casts a wide net, but he specifically helps business owners who I think are already making like 7 figures, or he has a certain benchmark. So it's good to cast a wide net like you're doing. So yeah, let's add a tagline here. Other than that, I think the banner is good. I just don't know what this says. Getcha Cafe. I'm not sure what that says. So for everyone listening, just as a rule of thumb, it's not wise anymore to use like fancy cursive. It's best just to use print, especially because I was like the last grade level at my school, at least, to learn cursive. And even after I learned it, we never practiced or used it. So even I have trouble like reading cursive, like the G here, I think that's a G, get you coffee. It's a thing I say. Oh, okay, so it's a thing you say. So remember everyone that our YouTube is like a house. So this gives a first impression to people. And if like, you see how I have like a disconnect here, like people wouldn't know this unless they watched your videos. So I would actually recommend removing that just so that we don't cause any confusion. Less is really more. And I think the banner would look much cleaner anyway if that wasn't there. Get your cafe. I wonder what that means. I'm even curious. Get your cafe. I'm curious what the meaning is. But anyway, these little things do add up. So Mike, I'm going to be pointing out a bunch of like small things, but they do add up and they will just make the user experience much more friendly on your channel. Okay, let's see here. Leadership consultant. Here, let me make this bigger for everyone else. Okay, leadership consultant, featured on Dr. Phil. Oh, that's cool. Featured on Dr. Phil, Forbes, Success Magazine. I hope that these are on your website. Yep, you're already ahead of the game. This is exactly what I was imagining. Good job with that. This goes for people listening. If you have credentials like this, like you've been in Forbes or you've been featured by certain people like Dr. Phil, add that on your website. It definitely adds credibility. Remember, the whole goal is to turn our viewers into buyers. And remember that in order for that to happen, they need to know, like, and trust us as the expert. So Mike is definitely positioning himself as the expert by having these on the website. So really great job with that. Oh, get your coffee, but just the way I said. Got it. Okay. So yeah, you could still say that in your videos. get your coffee. You can still say that in your videos, but like in the banner, it's kind of like confusing if people are new and they don't know that. Do you feel like your leadership skills are not getting noticed? Does it feel like staff don't pay attention to you? So what I would recommend, Mike, and this goes for everyone listening, know that YouTube puts the first sentence of your about section here. So it's featured on your channel. What I would recommend is that we have more of a tagline. So something like this, maybe we can rework this a little bit and put it towards the front so that, again, people can immediately know what you're helping them with. Because it's good to have credentials, but the first thing that people care about when they're on your page is, okay, how can I benefit from this? The brain's doing two things. It's asking itself, okay, how can this help me survive and thrive? And also the brain is trying to conserve brain calories. So it doesn't want to have to dig or think. It just wants to be able to know it off the bat. Otherwise, you can lose people. So again, maybe we can have some type of tagline here. Let's see, do you feel like your leadership skills are not getting noticed? Yeah, we can have something like helping new managers get noticed and get noticed by staff. Something along those lines. And then after that, then we can have your credentials. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that you said that the link was down below, because I've seen so many people try to put links in this section, but you can only put it down here. You can be respected as a leader. Don't let anyone stop you from reaching. Disclaimer. Okay, good that you have a disclaimer. Okay, great. So I know exactly where to click because you put that this was the leadership bootcamp. Great, beautiful. Good job with that. Just some little tweaks there that can be made. Everyone, Mike did a good job at including his business email. I get a lot of people emailing me asking about my services and also if they can, or if I can be on their podcast or vice versa. So it's good to have your business email here. Don't ever have your personal email or the email that your YouTube channel is under. So I have an email that I made my YouTube channel with that I'd never put out there. It's not public because that's just, it makes it easier for people to hack your channel if they have your email, because they have like half of the equation. They have the email address. And so I'm here to help people to make money with their YouTube, but I'm also here to help people to not get their YouTube deleted. One of my mentors had a channel with 250,000 subscribers, and guess what? It got hacked and they completely deleted the channel. So it's something to really seriously take into consideration, is just taking precautions like Mike here is doing with the disclaimer. Hopefully his email isn't the same as the one that the channel is under, and making sure you have two-step verification on. Yeah, I know. When I first heard conserve calories, I thought it was funny too. But no, literally, that's what the brain is doing because it uses up calories. Helping new managers become confident leaders. That's perfect. Let's have that more at the forefront so that people know exactly what you do. You see that, everyone? That's a good tagline that he just put in the comments. Helping new managers become confident leaders. We know exactly what problem he solves and for who. Alrighty, let's look at your content now. Let's start by looking at the home. Awesome, we have a trailer video. Everyone, this is like Mike standing at the front door of his house greeting people. So it's good to have a trailer here. And you could have a traditional one where it's like, hey, welcome to my channel. This is what you can expect. This is what you'll learn. This is when I post more about my services. But it can also be like your most recent video. So either of those can work as well. It's just like a pinned video. It's just like the one that's being highlighted. All right, let's see what else we have here. I always ignore this For You section. It's just something that YouTube recently made. Let's see. Red flags. Watch for signs that tell you when a work environment is toxic. Interesting. How to deal with people. These are good pillars. So how to deal with people, red flags. Okay, so this is like simple tips and advice. Okay, this one's about managers. Yeah, you have a lot of good content pillars. It's a lot, I will say, but it's not bad. I think it's great what you have here. Manager mistakes I've seen. Yeah, no, this is really good, Mike. Everyone, he did a good job at highlighting the pillar, what it's about, and then having featured videos. I think of YouTube like a content library, and having playlists and featuring them on this homepage here is like organizing your books into shelves. Because if someone comes along and they just want to know what it takes to be a great manager, they don't got to dig through his books in his library. It's nice and organized here. So if people are listening and they have a content library, I would recommend that you go through it and organize your books into shelves. Awesome. Let's check out his thumbnails. Very clear, to the points, easy text to read, great facial expressions. I love it. Most managers are terrified of doing this one thing. You do a really good job at having keywords and then also having some intrigue. So like, I would want to click on this if I was a manager. I'm not a manager, but if I was, I can see where the intrigue would be. I don't know if this right here is accomplishing anything, the real manager, that little yellow thing, because remember that on mobile, this is going to be so small, and I doubt anyone's going to be able to read that. Less is really more, and even like this little thing here, like the more you have, the less appealing it can be. I'm just looking at it overall, and again, like this video did well, but this one of your last 8 videos didn't do as well. It could be because of that. It could also be because of the topic, thumbnail, and title, but just overall, I think that's not totally necessary because you just can't read it. Yeah, and it's kind of like cutting off your head. It looks like your head's being sliced. When I first saw it, it looks like a slice. Like you see how like it's almost like it's almost like you have like a yellow stick coming out of your head. So that's my thoughts on that. If anyone else, by the way, this is like a group thing. If anyone else wants to chime in on something that they're noticing or something that can help Mike, just point it out. And it's important that we have constructive feedback. So don't ever say like, oh, this stinks. No, like we're all helping each other out. Be friendly with it. We're all helping each other to elevate. Let's see. Interesting. They said, what? I'm just looking at your most popular videos. Don't tell them. I see that your branding evolved over time. You've definitely been doing this for a while. One thing that you can do, and this goes for everyone listening, I've worked with YouTubers like this who have an established audience, and majority of the time, if they make another video focused on the same topic as their most popular ones, majority of the time it does well again. So you could even like one of my clients, you want to know what she did? She posted like a video and she had a video that did really well, and then she posted another video with the exact same thumbnail and then like the same title, but then she changed like the video itself, and then lo and behold, it did well again. So I'm not saying you have to use the exact one, but maybe we can have another video with the same title, Bad Managers at Work, Why Good Employees Quit. And then we can have the same text on there. I like your new branding much more, so I feel like that'll do better, but it's something to experiment with. That's good for everyone. If you ever feel stumped, if you're ever not sure like what to create your next video about, just go over to videos, click on popular, and feel free to model what you have. You are allowed to straight up copy yourself. You could even use the exact same thumbnails. Maybe you could at least change the photo. Let's get rid of this. I know I can get rid of ads. I actually prefer to watch them because I just like to know what's happening out there. Okay, work with me in 30 days, learn to motivate. Okay, great. So it's good that you are pinning comments. Okay, what is this? I'd love if you could help me in my new job out with simple UP vote. I'm not sure what that is. Interesting. I'm sure you give context to what this is in the video. So I'm going to ignore it for this one, but generally, maybe just in this video, you wanted to promote this comment, but generally speaking, it's good to pin comments with your offer in it. So I'm sure in your video, you tell people, you encourage them to click the links down below. But that's one thing, everyone. So the best way to turn your viewers into buyers is just by simply having an effective call to action. When I say effective call to action, it's something that is genuine, doesn't come off as sleazy. You're genuinely inviting people to your products and services so that you can help them out. And then also you want to communicate the value, which I'm sure you do, Mike. I'm sure you tell them the benefits and the outcomes from this, what is this? From this 30-day boot camp. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so you have your newsletter here. So this goes for everyone. Just make sure that you're doing that. And Mike, I didn't watch your videos. I did a few months ago when I first discovered you, but I haven't lately. But one thing to ensure that you do, and this goes for everyone listening, it's good to have a call to action towards the beginning, because all of you know that typically on YouTube, people drop off just naturally. So there's probably like 10% of people still listening at the end, but majority, like 60, 70% still at like 1 minute. So it's wise to have a call to action in here, simply because more people are going to hear it. And just from a statistical standpoint, if more people hear it, then they'll go over to the website or to the boot camp, whatever he's promoting, and they'll take that next step. I'm gonna critique this in a second, but I just want to remind everyone listening that that is how we turn viewers into buyers. And just again, remember to do so in a way that's authentic, so that we don't have a big drop off. Because if you are sleazy with it, if you're inauthentic, people are gonna skip it. Alrighty. I would have some more text in your description. So I see here that you have your disclaimer and that you have your links, but also know that YouTube, what it does is it also analyzes keywords in the description. So from an SEO standpoint, YouTube's going to analyze keywords in the title. Also in the tags, which I see you don't have any. They don't matter as much anymore, but it doesn't hurt to add in some tags, just some keywords that go with this video. So you can pop this into TubeBuddy. So if I were you, I would just open up TubeBuddy. If you don't have TubeBuddy, you can get the free version of it. And what you could do is just put in your title, go over to tags, and it'll give you some tags. Let's see how most managers are terrified of doing this one thing. So let's see if we have relevant tags. I feel like we can have better ones, like ones that are more focused on like managers. I know this type of title doesn't have as much context. This one has like terrified of doing this one thing. And so that's why it's recommending things like anxiety and fear. But it's worth doing it. Let's say, even if you type in managers leadership, I'm sure it'll give us some good tags. And again, this doesn't hurt just to pop in leadership, business, management. These are good tags for you to add in. And then also just having some keywords here in the description can help you better rank in search, Mike. Because it's just simply telling YouTube more about what you do or what the video's about. So it can never hurt just to give it some more context. Alrighty, I see that you're posting shorts. Beautiful. Okay, so you went live in the past. Mike, what I would recommend is that you go live more. And what I would recommend as well is that you let people know in your community tab. Maybe you have an email list, maybe you have Instagram, whatever else you're using. I would tell people that you're going to be going live at a certain day and time so that people can tune in. And then also a bunch of people will watch the replay, because after you go live, it's going to show it to your subscribers. It'll recommend it to them like on their homepage. If your goal is to get people into the boot camp, then I'm telling you, conversions are really high in a live stream setting, because it's like they're actually in the room with you, they're getting value, they get to interact with you. So if I would make it into an event, maybe you could do it twice a month, kind of like how I'm doing. And yeah, and then have the call to action in there about your boot camp. Tell them the benefits, tell them the outcomes. And then, yeah, you'll get really good traction with that. I have no doubt. You've done it in the past. You've done live Q&As. You could even just do like a monthly live Q&A, and feel free to model my form. So feel free to go to my website and check out events. You can have this, but you could just do like monthly live Q&A. And then what you could do is have people fill out a form so that you can collect their email. And then again, feel free to model me. Like I put it in the calendar. I sent everyone out a calendar invite. I sent them a reminder email. Feel free to do the same. I mean, this was a really easy page. Headline, what they're going to get, timer. Obviously mine went out because I'm already doing this. Simple form. Who's this for? Some testimonials about Mike. Easy. I have a really good feeling just if you go live once a month, oof, you're going to do really well with boot camp. Like there's no doubt in my mind because I could already tell that you give a ton of value in your stuff. I could just tell. I could tell even like these, like you went live for like 2 hours just giving value. That's something I'm strongly urging you to do. So I'm glad that you're open to the idea. I see that you put it in the comments. Cool. How many espressos are too many espressos? That's funny. So everyone, notice what Mike is doing in your community tab. It's good to like even have posts like this where it's like nothing related to your niche. It's just friendly. This gets people to connect with you as a human being. If all of your posts on YouTube are, just about buy my bootcamp, or buy my course, it's not like that authentic. People don't feel connected to the human. It's not as much of a personal brand. It's more of like a, you know that feeling when people just want to sell you something. Cool. He's doing polls. Oh, see, he's got some humor in here. He shares his milestones. That's awesome. Feel free to share your last one. I mean, I know you just hit a big milestone. Let your audience celebrate with you. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going down a rabbit hole. You see how like I'm interested in Mike? You see how personalized this is? Is that alcohol? Okay, anyway, I'm getting distracted by this. It's interesting. I feel connected to Mike as a human. Okay, so let's look at your website. I know that this is your homepage. Typically, I like to review the page for your main offer. So I'm assuming it's this one because this is your bootcamp and this is what I see you promoting. So here, let me make sure that okay. Just want to make sure I'm zoomed in correctly. Okay, so what I recommend is notice how I open this page and we just have text on here. But notice how on my page, it's like we have text, we have this image here. There's supposed to be a video, but I don't know why it's not showing. So that's a good note for me. But anyway, the point is that notice how text is showing and we could see where the video would be and we can see the text and we can see a button. Let's have that for you. So let's change the spacing. Let's close this space. Let's close that space so that all that text can fit like right here. And then we can have the video right here to the left. And then these bullet points can go over to the right. The reason why the video should be to the left and that the text should be to the right is so that on mobile, when they look at it, it's like they see the text and then the video right underneath it. Because if there's just a jumble of this text and that text on top of each other, it's a lot of text. And so that's why I'm recommending this format. Okay, but that's the gist for this. I can really nitpick some of the copy and I'm sure the video too, but just for the sake of time, let's go through this. Okay, so I'm glad that you don't have big walls of text. This is good. I think that, let me just look at something overall. Okay, we definitely have authority and credibility. Learn to cultivate respect. Okay, so one thing I recommend is that, I think here we can have an image. Like text is good to have, and you don't have a lot of it, but even just an image here can make it like a bit more connecting because people want to see themselves in the process. Like when people see this, they can like see themselves. And it's good to have pictures of you. Okay, it's good that you have women as well. You got a good balance of men and women. But I think overall, just like some of the formatting here, so maybe adding in a photo. Sorry, everyone, if I'm scrolling too fast. Some people says that causes them a headache, but I like to look at everything overall and then go back to each section at a time. I think just little formatting things. Like, again, notice how this text is taking up a lot of space. I think we can have all of this just in one section. Kind of like this section, you see how like nice and concise it is? It's like easier to scroll through, but a lot of stuff is just very big and stretched out. And it makes it easy to read, but we can still accomplish easy to read and not so sprawled out. I have 5 years of experience being a manager, but I still watch your videos. Oh, nice. That's a good testimonials. Same thing with this. Like, hey, I'm Mike. I think we could just make this a bit smaller and just have it in a box on the left and then that photo on the right. Just simple formatting. Gain instant access today. Learn to cultivate respect. I think overall, this is a great page. I could really nitpick with the copy, but just for the sake of it, inside the course, cool, so they know what they're gonna get. Instant access to my delegation course. Okay, stop feeling like. Okay, so it's good that you have like the outcomes, and then you also have like what's inside the course. Something that I haven't seen is like just some more logistics. Maybe I'm missing it. Like just some more logistics. Like what is this really like? How many modules? How many lessons? Are there group calls? Is this like how long is this? Is this like a 30-day thing? Okay, here it is. That's good. So it's down here. 30 plus modules. It might be, let me see something. It might be wise to, okay, so you see how I had to really scroll down to come to that answer of, okay, what is this really? So maybe what we can do is all the buttons on the page. And by the way, I would have every section, I would include a button. So I would have one of those purple buttons here and one of those purple buttons here, just so that people aren't scrambling for it. You had it good here, but I would have all the buttons like immediately go down to that page. So let me give you an example. Like this is like a beginner course that I have. If I click the button, boop, it goes down here and you can see the logistics. So it's good. This goes for everyone. You want to have both your logistics, but then also like what it's going to do for them. So Mike, you did a good job at articulating what it'll do for them, how it'll change their career and their life. But you see how I had to really like scroll down to the bottom to come to that answer? People need to know both of those answers. What are the logistics and what are the outcomes before they make a purchase? So if all the buttons came down here, then we would know, okay, like what it comes with. Delegation course, integrated comment section. Okay, interesting. So it looks like from what I'm seeing that this is like there's no like one-on-one access. There's email support, integrated comment section. Mike, we could have okay, so it's one video per day for 30 days. Maybe we can outline that, because if I was a potential buyer, I would be asking questions like, okay, like, do I get more access to Mike? Like, can I like, is there like a group call? If you're, I'm not saying you have to do that. You could totally just have like a one-time boot camp at a one-time fee. But if you want, and if you want to do this, we can open up another discussion after this session. I think you can make this into something that's like an ongoing membership type of deal. Maybe like you revamp this and maybe it's like $497 per month, or you could do something else like $250 or $300. What if it's like an ongoing thing and every month they get all these materials, and then maybe every month they get like a group call or maybe 2 group calls, something? Because if we just have one-time offers, then every month you could be in uncertainty because you don't know how many boot camps you're going to sell. However, if this is like an ongoing members area or like a group coaching thing, and think about it, like, again, like we want to create something that's in alignment for your audience and your ideal lifestyle. So if this is outside your ideal lifestyle, that's cool. But for a lot of people that I talk with, I mean, they're open to doing like a 1-hour group call, and it could just be like a live Q&A where you actually talk to people on Zoom. That can really help you with your YouTube business, because I actually did that for one of my clients. She was just selling one-time courses. She was in the mental health space, and we had we redid everything so that the courses came on an ongoing subscription, and if they canceled it, they lost access to the resources. But that alone created $50K in recurring revenue. I kid you not, just by changing the model around. And she loves it because she does 1 group call a month, and that's it. That's literally, and then of course she makes her YouTube videos. But she came to me and she's like, yeah, Ari, I'm at a point where I feel a bit burnt out. I want to spend more time with my kids. And she was even worried about her YouTube because there were some people in her niche where their channels got taken down. So it was like, yikes, like that can honestly happen to everyone. Your channel can be taken down. And so when I see a YouTuber that's established, I encourage them to have some type of model like this, so that if, God forbid that ever happens, or if your videos stop gaining traction, which happens to some YouTubers, it's all good, because like from a financial standpoint, your business is fine because you have 20 members all paying you $500 a month, or however many it is. It's a really good model because you're going to have bad months with your YouTube. You're going to have high months and low months. I just want you to be well set up. So yes. I hope that was helpful, Mike. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope that was helpful for the rest of you that are tuning in, because I see we have some others tuning in. But yeah, Mike, let me know how you found that. You can email me after. We can chat more on LinkedIn. But I'm excited for you, especially the lives. I have a good feeling with your live sessions that those are really going to help people and encourage them to join the bootcamp and get to trust you more. And people will watch the replay, and maybe you can have that subscription model, and that'll be really good for you. So I'm really excited for you. That was a fun one. Awesome. So Terry, let me know if you're still here. I will do you next. Okay, so we just did Mike. Let me just organize my list here. Mike is done. Okay, pull up Terry. We have a Terry and a Tracy. And so visually, like, I get the two confused. They have the T and the Y. Okay, we'll do Terry, and then if Tracy is here, we'll do her after. Okay, cool. Terry, okay. Oh, wow, I was just talking about the mental health niche, and I forgot that you're in that niche too. Awesome. So I have some really good tips for you, Terry. I have some really good tips because I helped that other YouTuber, and I'm going to give you some advice that we used for her so that you can succeed with what you have. Okay, so first thing, by the way, everyone, if anyone is in need of mental health support, feel free to go over to Terry's channel and subscribe. This is something that I think everyone can use to a degree. Even if you have the best life ever, I think life is life, and there's going to be times when we experience depression or fear, or of course everyone gets frustrated. I got frustrated this morning. I got a parking ticket even though I didn't violate anything, and the point is that people can benefit from what Terry has here. So first thing I'm going to say, Terry, is that remember that this is like a house, and we're giving a good first impression. And overall, when I look at this, I have a good impression because you look very personable overall. Like overall, you seem like a friendly person. And so I think it's good that you have pictures of you in there. So it's good that like you're showing your face and we can see that. And another thing that you're doing well is it's easy to read the text. Yep, it's easy to read the text in the thumbnails. So that's another thing. It's another thing that's giving a good first impression, is just being able to read things. But you said it yourself, we have no banner here. There's no banner. So Terry, there is a link in the description of this live stream, and there is a link to a free Canva banner template. If you use Canva, I basically gave my banner, and you can use, I also created a tutorial video. So you can watch that video and use the template that I gave to make yourself a banner. But yes, let's make a banner with a picture of you in there. And let's make it really clear what problem you solve and for who. So maybe we can have something like, zoom in a bit. Maybe we can put something like, because I see here that you're a trauma expert. So maybe we can say something like, like, I'm trying to think for you. There's a lot of ways that we can go about it in the mental health space. So a good template is helping type of person solve problem. So we could say, and by the way, everyone, I know I mentioned earlier with Mike that it's good to niche down like on a person, but sometimes with a niche like mental health, that's a bit like broad, like, because everyone could use, like I said, most people can use like what Terry's offering. So it wouldn't be wise in her case to say, oh, I'm helping just women, or I'm helping this type of person. You could do that, but another way you could go about it is you could say, helping people to overcome trauma and mental health challenges with a particular method. So I don't know if you have a particular method, but for example, I worked with someone in the past who used hypnosis as a method to help people with their depression and anxiety. What else? I've helped people as well. Or who I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Tony Robbins. He had a particular method. He was using NLP. So the person who I was helping in the mental health space, she was a therapist. So hers was through practical therapy advice. Okay, cool. So you have a solution statement. I help severely traumatized individuals overcome depression and anxiety through the Catharsis process. Okay, yeah, that's good. Catharsis process. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Maybe we can define it. Catharsis process. I think that's a really good tagline. I think we can shorten it. And I think we could shorten it and put it in the banner that you create. So again, there's a template down below, and we can shorten that and include the tagline in there and a picture of you. And that way people know immediately what you're doing. Another thing as well. Oh, hey, Chris, that's okay. So I can do yours next, Chris. I'm just doing Terry's right now. So what was I saying? Oh, yes. So one thing, Terry, is that when I look at your profile photo, I actually just read "your is lying." Your is lying, because people don't really read emojis. I know you're trying to convey that your mind is lying, but when people look at this, like, they're reading the text. This almost looks like a symbol. I don't know about the rest of you, but like when I see this, I don't actually I don't put the word brain to the image. So maybe what we can have, I would actually just recommend like a nice photo of you. Like a nice photo of you here. And let me give you all some good examples of profile photos. So it's important because on YouTube will show your subscriptions page over here to the left. And this is how a lot of people find people who they're subscribed to. So what we want, this is a good example right here. Ryan Panetta, you see how we could see his whole face, solid background, and like you could see him well. So this is what we want. Lewis House is another really good one. Avoid cutting off your head, like this gentleman here. You see how his head is cut off. I also recommend avoiding it, like for example here, you see how Layla has really dark hair? It would be better if she had a white background. If you look at my profile photo, I have a white background because I have dark hair. Terry, you have lighter features, so like a darker background would be good for you, just so that we're not really blended in. And that's one thing I want to point out is I would recommend a darker background just simply because you have lighter features and it kind of visually blends in a bit. And what I would also recommend is that you're bigger in the photo, just so that people can see you. Let me share with you, this is therapy in a nutshell. This is the YouTube channel that I helped with mental health. Again, I helped them to launch a membership. Now, I'm not saying you have to have a picture of you in the profile photo. You could have just the logo. But what I want to point out here is that you see how she's taking up the whole thumbnail? And she has lighter features too. You see how she's not really blended in? We have like a nice solid background behind her. So generally, it's good for you to take up most of the frame, like how she's doing. So let's have that for you. Let's make you a bit bigger with a darker background. And I think overall your text is good because it's easy to read, but the yellow, because what you have is like you have like that black outline. However, I would avoid, well, yellow's good, but if you have a darker background, but against the white, it's a little bit harder to read. Same thing with this fluorescent green. Like that word disappointment, it's kind of like very close together and very bright, and it's difficult to read. And some of the text isn't easy to read. So for example, this one, it's kind of like we're reading sideways, like instant depression and anxiety relief. It'd be better if it was like more like concise with each other. So you see how hers is like all the same colors in terms of the font. It's all the same colors, and it's like you're not reading like diagonally. It's like all in one spot, if that makes sense. So if I were you, I would just put like overcome disappointment now, but like all like underneath each other so that you're not reading diagonally. Okay, good. I'm glad that makes sense. Oh, hey, Dulce, thanks for tuning in. Nice to see you. Awesome. So what I recommend as well is everyone, just as a reminder, shorts on YouTube are a maximum of 60 seconds. So I don't recommend posting vertical videos that are beyond 60 seconds, especially if they don't have like a thumbnail. It looks a bit unprofessional to have like this black area around it. Because like, what would you rather click on? A thumbnail that looks like this or a thumbnail that looks like this? Like, this one just looks more professional and there's more brand authority, and this is going to have a higher click-through rate. So what I would recommend, Terry, is you could keep these, but at minimum, I would put up a thumbnail. I would put a thumbnail like these other ones, just so that, like, again, like, these are like books. It's kind of like improving the cover of your book so that more people pick it up. So the cool thing about YouTube is that you can change your book covers and also your titles to make it more appealing. I've done this with my own videos and also with videos from clients, and we've literally saw the video take off because we adjusted the thumbnail and the title. So it's something that you can do. And then let's see what else we have here. How to deal with frustration. Yeah, I think overall you're doing good. I would just improve just like the branding. This doesn't look like too professional. And if we use Canva, they have some really good templates that you can use, and we can just come across much nicer. Like, I don't know if I'm digging the yellow and the pink, because like from a visual standpoint, like I wear contact lenses, so when I see like fluorescent colors, it kind of like does this thing where it's like, I don't know how to explain it. it's like too overpowering, and it's just very difficult to read. So yeah, I would pick a different color scheme as well. And yeah, maybe something like, you can go a few different ways, but I would avoid any fluorescent colors. And yeah, that can help you a lot. Just that one thing alone can help you a lot. Let's see what else we have. I'm going to click on this video here. Okay, so I see that you're recommending some videos, free stuff, courses, awesome, books. Yeah, this is nice. I'm going to recommend the same thing to you that I recommended to Mike. It's good in your videos to have like more of a description here. So, because YouTube analyzes the first 200 characters. So I would start off by saying a few sentences about the video. Like, in this video, you're going to learn about how limiting beliefs that you have can keep you depressed. This is for people who don't have a positive mindset and, they're looking to improve their mental well-being. Like, keywords like that. Look, we have some here. You can include words like healing, how to fight trauma. Let's add that into the description just so that you can rank better in Google search. Because again, YouTube analyzes the first 200 characters, and you have some keywords like overcoming fear and depression, but it doesn't really give YouTube enough data to recommend it better. So yes, there's that. Let's check out everything else. Awesome, you're posting shorts. So just as a general rule of thumb, everyone, because I know that you all know that the purpose of this, I don't necessarily teach people how to go viral. I help them to improve the conversion rate between someone being a viewer and someone being a buyer of their products and services. And so generally speaking, for long form videos, it's wise to have a call to action for paid stuff. You could still talk about like your freebies, but if you have courses or consulting or some type of product that people invest money in, the long forms have the best conversion rate. And shorts are really good for free offers. I would never recommend to tell people, oh, like buy this paid course in a short, because the conversion rate just isn't that high. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's good to have, like, there's less resistance when you tell people to download like a free thing in the shorts. So yes, there's that. Terry, I would really recommend going live. You have enough subscribers to, even if you went live without any notice, people have their notifications turned on, so they would tune into you, and they would also watch the replay afterwards because YouTube would recommend it to them after it was done. So I would recommend going live. Maybe you can have like a live Q&A session, or maybe you can interview people. There's quite a bit that you can do. My client here, she interviewed people. I know she does private live streams too, which obviously aren't available on the public page, but even like just doing a live Q&A, that'll help you a lot, Terry. So I recommend that you experiment with it. I'm not saying that you have to. Not everyone needs to go live, but I just know it's a really great strategy. I will be on my own, LOL. I'm not sure what you mean by I will be on my own. I forget what we were talking about, where that relates to. But anyway, let's look over your website. You've tried everything. Okay, so when I see this, you see how I even played with my volume? When I first saw this, I thought that this was a video that I was supposed to turn up my volume for. So I would actually recommend that we remove this because it could be a bit confusing because there's no audio to it. So perhaps what we can do is maybe let's have a video of you here, like an actual video of you explaining what problem you solve and for who, what your services are, how you're the expert. Let's have that here, and then we can even have like a solid background. This one just kind of trips up the brain a bit, but there's that. You've tried everything. Now try what works. In the headline, I would make it more clear what you do. Like this could relate to any niche that this could relate to. You tried everything. Now try what works. Like about what? Break free from depression when everything else has failed. This one gives more context, but I still know that we can have something stronger here. Enroll in the free mini course, not a hero, just a satire of errors. There's a lot of text here. Lots of text here. Our programs. I would shorten this up. I feel like these two things, I feel like these can be like in one box. Like this is kind of like a continuation of this. But it almost looks like two different sections, but I think we can combine this into one section and make it shorter and more concise. Just have one photo of you. Our programs. Okay, yeah, this is nice. You have a nice photo, a nice button, gain instant access. Yep, this is nice FAQs. Yeah, this is great. I'm gonna look at one of your programs really quick. Let's click on that. Interesting. Ooh, a lot of text on here. We want video here for sure. This goes for everyone. If you have a checkout page like this for a specific offer, you always want a video explaining it. So that goes for all your individual offers. I'm telling you, it increases conversion rates by a lot, like over 70%. Because if I look at this and I recommend it to someone and I send over the link, they're going to be like, who is this chick? They don't have a sense for you. And for people to buy something, typically, majority of the time, they need to have a sense of the person. Video accomplishes that. It shows your personality and you can communicate what makes you the expert. Gain the happiness you deserve by using proven strategies, tactics, and tools that most people will never have access to. Get a proven system to overcome depression permanently without wasting time on it. Here's what you get today. Okay, so I think you did a good job at explaining what they're going to get from a logistical standpoint. I think we could split up the logistics and the outcomes. So here we have feel happier, overcome depression, deal with childhood trauma, inner peace. I think these can be one list. And then this is logistics. Break free from old patterns. This would have to be moved up because this is an outcome, and then lifetime access is a logistic. So it would just make it easier to read, because it would be easier to differentiate the outcomes from the logistics. Remember, those are two different things. Outcomes are things like this, feeling happier, overcoming depression, whereas logistics is how many modules, how many videos. People need to know both, and we have a mix here. Cool, we got some bonuses. That'd be nice to have some type of urgency. Yeah, it'd be really nice to have some type of urgency. Why should they buy now? Maybe the price will go up or limited spots, something. And then something else I recommend to you. Let me make sure you don't have it. If you don't have it already, I'm going to recommend the same thing to you that I recommended to Mike, where you have some type of membership. It seems like we have just one-time offers, but if we have some type of group program or membership, can't access the mini course. Oh, this is the mini course. This is free. If we have something like that, like free mini course. Yeah, if you have a membership, you could be earning recurring revenue. Do you recommend splitting them? Yes, I recommend splitting them, 2 separate lists. Yep, I would do that for your other checkout pages too. But seriously, Terry, you can make a membership. You can make something where it's recurring. People invest monthly. Maybe they get exclusive courses and stuff, but you can give them access to you. And you can think that through. Like my client who is in this space, she made it very clear that this wasn't a therapy session. She made it very clear that she was giving people the knowledge and tools that they would gain in therapy. So this niche, you need to have disclaimers and you need to do your due diligence. So I'm just putting that out there. But aside from that, I mean, you could have some type of group that means once a month, twice a month. And imagine having like 30 members paying you, a few $100s a month versus this, because every month you're in uncertainty. You don't know how many programs you're going to sell. And so how can we really make this a business that we rely on if we're sitting in uncertainty every month? When I did that for myself, when I created recurring offers, it was a whole game changer because then I knew that this was sustainable for me and that this could support me. And that's why I moved across the country with confidence and comfort, because I had at the time like 20 members paying me a certain amount and they were getting so much value. So I knew, okay, unless they canceled, which it'd be unlikely that they all did at the same time, which they never did. Unless they canceled, it's like, this is how much I can expect, and I can only build and grow upon that. So yes, let me know if you want to continue that conversation, because I can go on and on about that, but that's something that you can do. And I don't know if you're doing this full time or what your goals are, but just that alone, I'm telling you, like by the time I had your many subscribers, I had a recurring membership. And the first time I went live, Terry, the first time I got 2 sales. One was a $500 sale and the other was a $100 sale, but they were on monthly plans. So I earned $600 from one live stream, not once, but for several months after. One of them, the $97 one, was with me for a whole year. And then the other one was with me for 5 months. So do the math on that. But that's what I'm talking about, everyone. My clients who are monetized through the YouTube Partners program, I see how much they make, and it's not as much as you could make with something like this in place. So yeah, if you want to continue that conversation, Terry, let me know. But I think I gave you a lot to work with. So everybody here will have this recording. Someone asked, can I do these kind of methods since I am from India? And will the government accept these kinds of processes? So you need to do your own research. Every country is different. But what you could do is typically all it takes is having a platform. Like I typically recommend Kajabi, depending on what you're doing. Go High Level is good as well. There's a bunch out there, but if you have a platform like Kajabi or WordPress or Go High Level, and you make these type of offers and you tell people about them in your content, that's all it takes. Don't know about government restrictions. That's something you need to do your own research on. Awesome, Terry. I'm glad. So again, everyone, I hope you're all taking notes, even if I'm not reviewing your channel, because there's a lot to learn. Like Terry, I gave her a lot of good pointers that everyone here could benefit from. So awesome. Next, I will do. I don't help with gaming channels, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm gonna do Chris next. Chris, I'm gonna pull up your channel. Like you, let me know if you're still here. Let's see. I'm gonna do you next. Again, and everyone, if you want me to review your channel, feel free to fill out a form down below. There's a form. Not everyone who fills out the form will get approved. I'm specifically helping business owners who are building a brand and they're offering products and services. I don't help with education-based channels. So if you're not education, I'm sorry, entertainment-based. So if you're focused on video games or, things that are just for entertainment, you're not educating on anything, that is not who I help. Yeah, sorry about that. That is my criteria. Alrighty, we have Chris. Chris, I'm sure you've heard of this book right here. Oh, it's blurry. Becoming Your Own Banker. I'm reading it right now. It's really good. I'm reading this book. I read, what's it called? The Millionaire Multiplier by Chris Noggle. And then I read Heads I Win, Tails You Use by Patrick something. They're all really good books. I'm a fan of the whole life policy of life insurance. So we won't talk about that now because we could have a whole conversation about that. But I'm learning so much about like investing your money and the banks. It's crazy. There's so much to know. It's like the more you know, that's it called the money multiplier method. I get those M's mixed up. But yeah, we can have a conversation later on this. I'm looking into a policy. I'm just doing my due diligence first. But anyway, I was also tuning into your live stream the other day. You give really good knowledge. You give really, really good value. And it's what I like about you is from what I saw, it didn't feel like you were holding anything back. You were truly just giving value to people. And everyone, I really want to commend Chris for that because there's a lot of YouTubers and entrepreneurs who think they need to hold stuff back. They're like, I can't give this away because this is what I give away in my paid stuff. It's not the mentality you want to have. The person who wins all the time is the one who gives the most value. They're the ones who give the most value because they get people to know, like, and trust them. And I don't care what your niche is. You can give all the value, but what you're offering with your products and services is going to get them much further. It'll help them get the result faster, easier, with less headache. Exactly. Just give people what you have. I love Brennan Burchard. But we're fans of a lot of the same people. No, that's good. So everyone, I just really want to commend Chris for that. And I encourage you to model it. I meet so many people who say that they can't give out value because the people need to pay for it. But then there's another YouTuber in their niche who are they're just giving. And that person always stands out. There's people who do what I'm doing now, these free channel reviews, and they put a price tag on it, which they can do, but I personally enjoy these, and I want people to get this type of value, regardless. So anyway, that's my tangent for that. So here we have Life 180, info at life180.com. Get your free copy. Click on the link in the video description. I think we can make this sentence more concise. I don't know if you read it, but even as I was saying it out loud, I kind of tripped up on the word. Maybe we can say, get your free copy by clicking. I think we're missing that word, by clicking on the link in the video. You could also put the book here. You can also put a link to the book here, and then that way you say, get your free copy. What some people do is they have an arrow that points down to the link section. Here, let me just read your comment, and then I'll come back to that thought. I hate how people in my industry hold stuff back just to get people on a call. I just want to give away and build trust. And if they want to work with me, cool. But either way, they need the info. Yes, 1,000%. Now, you're in a niche where I'm assuming that what you do is learn cash flow hacking free. Because your process is a bit different. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you typically need to get on multiple calls with people in order for them to purchase a policy. So regardless, if someone wants a policy from you, like unless they become certified, unless they get like their license to sell insurance, then they need someone like an advisor to sell it to them. Correct me if I'm wrong. I actually used to be a licensed agent, believe it or not. When I was like, how old was I? I was really young. I was like 21. And so I know the process. You have to get on multiple calls with people. And at the time, I sold my own policy to myself because I had like a license. But yeah, there's typically like an education process. So you're actually making your job easier by putting these videos out there. Because if you were an advisor, then I could just watch your videos even before I get on the call with you. And you're going to answer a lot of the questions that I have. When I was talking to my advisor for whole life, I had to ask so many questions. And if she had a YouTube channel, then they would just all be answered. We recruit a lot of agents, up to 800 now, that we teach and support. Ah, I see. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot, yeah. With this channel, Chris, this channel, and I'm sure you're doing this already, like this channel can be like a hub. So these 800 agents, instead of them having, because think about it, let's think of efficiency. We have 800 agents, they're getting on calls with people, they probably keep answering the same exact questions over and over and over and over again. It's like you have 800 people that are kind of like a broken record. And so how can we be more efficient? You might already have something like this in place, but maybe before these agents or yourself get on the call with a prospect, maybe we can send them an email with some YouTube videos that say, hey, like, and it could depend on where they're at. Let's say they're brand new, let's say they have no whole life policy, and because when people are new to it, they need to and I know this from my personal experience, it takes time for them to wrap their head around it. There's misconceptions, and let's be honest, I mean, people have been programmed to think of money and investing in a certain way, and there's a lot of deconstructing that needs to take place in order for people to say yes. So maybe these 800 agents, before they get on a call with a prospect, there could be certain playlists on YouTube that you send them depending on where they're at. So we have a newbie playlist. We have the playlist for someone who maybe they have policies in place, but they just want an agent or you to reanalyze their policies because they don't know if they were set up right. So there could be a playlist for that. There could be, someone who maybe has a bunch of policies in place, they just want another. We have a masterclass that agents share with prospects. That one on the channel you see is in GHL. Oh, okay. Definitely takes time for the strategies to click. When it does, they're like, where has this been my whole life, and why am I just learning about it? That's so funny. Where has this been my whole life? And it's literally whole life. That's so funny. I never put that two together. Yeah, so that's good that you have a masterclass. That's good. We can have a whole conversation on that, but I think it's smart to have different masterclasses catered to where people are at. And I think I covered all the three buckets. They're brand new. They want to reanalyze their policies, or maybe they already have policies with some other provider and they want to go with you. So yeah, that could be helpful. It's good that you have a masterclass already. But again, I was just thinking about everything as a whole. Alrighty, I got excited here. So let's go back to this. Okay, so yeah, let's fix this text here in terms of the book. I would recommend as well that we have some type of tagline. So that people know exactly what you do. Because if, without reading the book, Cash Flow Hacking, I really don't know what you do. And even that word cash flow hacking, that can relate to a lot of different niches, within the finance realm. I don't immediately know that you help with insurance. So maybe what we could do is, we could remove this logo here, or maybe we could just put it somewhere else. But I would make room here for a tagline. And I would put exactly what problem you're solving and for who. Because if I just saw your banner, I wouldn't know. I would have kind of an idea. Okay, he's helping with finance. I see the word life in there. So I kind of have a sense, but I don't immediately know what you do. So let's add in a tagline. And I'm sure you have one already. Something just really clear and concise. Okay. We believe financial systems is broken. I meant. Okay, so again, even here, I don't know exactly. I don't know if you focus on other financial systems, but it seems to me that it's mainly insurance. So what I recommend is I would flip these two paragraphs, because before people learn about you and your expertise, they want to know what problem you're going to solve for them. This goes for everyone. When somebody lands on a YouTube channel or on a website, the brain is trying to do two things. One is trying to figure out, how can I survive and thrive? People don't come on your page for you. That sounds kind of bad, but people that never come on a YouTube page for you, they go on a YouTube page for them. So they need to know, what am I going to get? The tagline will accomplish that, but even in the about section, We want them to know how they're going to get helped. And then you could tell them about your credentials after that, because they don't care about your credentials until they know what you can do for them. So let's flip these, and maybe we can be a bit more specific. We have financial systems, but let's say which financial systems. Let's be really clear. Let's list them out. Simplify. Let's see. Simplifying financial confusion. I'm not sure what you're referencing. Simplifying. Yeah, just overall simplifying. We teach life insurance leveraged. Okay, yeah, let's put that. Teaching life insurance to invest in real estate. Or maybe something like teaching life insurance. I think exactly actually how you have it is good. We can put that towards the top. To answer your question, Denise, I do these twice a month. Okay, Chris, yeah, let's add that tagline here, and then let's also have it here. Because as a reminder, everyone, YouTube shows that first sentence, and people do read this. Even on mobile, they see this first sentence. And so again, people don't necessarily care that you launched Life 180 as a solution to a problem. And again, we don't know what problem you're solving. So let's start this with a tagline first, the one that you have, so that people know immediately what you do. So again, the brain's trying to know, how can I survive and thrive? And it's also trying to preserve brain calories. It sounds funny to say, but literally the brain is trying to conserve calories. If someone were to land on this page, they would have to use up a lot of brain energy to figure out what you do, because it's not super clear in the banner or about section. I don't even think I saw the words life insurance or real estate here. Oh, okay, we have it here. It's for yours. We have it in your credentials. Indexed. Okay, you have indexed. Okay, so you talk about IULs, term, infinite banking. I would even be clear on the insurance, because we have some stuff going on. You can have multiple. You can say IULs, IBC, and term. People who are researching this are going to know what that means. But let me show you something. This is like a totally different niche, but well, he's still in the finance niche. But one thing I like about him, oh, he took down his banner. Oh, he used to have a really good banner, but he took it down. Oh, what? Okay, this is a different tangent. He left his channel. Okay, anyway, he used to have like different pillars listed. So maybe you can have something like, we teach insurance for, something like we teach insurance for real estate, and then maybe we can list out the different insurance, because I see you're doing IUL, term, IBC, whole life. Maybe we can list out the different insurance, because I've come across YouTubers and also authors, even Nelson Nashier. He even says in the book that he's against IUL. And I think Patrick something from Heads I Win, Tails You Use, I think he said the same thing. So I would put which ones you're teaching. How about this? My passion is. Finish that sentence. Your passion is, and then are you thinking of putting each of the whatchamacallit, insurances in there, the types? Oh, nice. You're going live soon. That's cool. We help people align their money with their values and beliefs. That's good. That's like a good mission statement. But like a tagline answers the question of, what problem do I solve and for who? So if you tell me that we help people align their money with their values and beliefs, again, I don't know exactly what you do. Like, you could be doing anything. I was just watching one of my friends on Instagram. He technically has that mission too, but he specifically teaches how to leverage credit. So you could be teaching credit, you could be teaching stocks, you could be teaching anything to do with finance. I think it's better to be clear than too broad. Alrighty, let's dive into your videos here. So biggest thing that I'm going to say for your thumbnails is, we want to maintain a consistent brand look, but also have variety. Here's what I mean by that. First off, we have a few different brand looks. So here we have red going on, we got this yellow, we have this earth background, and it looks like we have some different fonts here. I would recommend that we stick to a consistent background and a consistent font and color, but I would recommend that we mix it up with different photos. So for example, like these two here have the same brand look, but they almost look like the same photo. Well, they are the same photo. Like we have the same two people here. It looks like the same exact video. So if I watch this video here and I'm just like, man, like Chris is great. He gives so much value. Subscribe. And then if I like, let's say like the next day or the next week, I see this video on my YouTube homepage, I'm going to think, oh, I already watched that. Because there are people who, like I'm one of these people, I'm a visual associator. So I will remember visuals. It looks like, these all look like the same video. This one, and this one. And what coincidence is that the first one with this style got the most views, and this one almost got the least amount. Actually, this one did here. But the point is that I would recommend like still having like the same look, but let's change up the photo. Let's change up the words. I see that you do here, but it's very small. Financial efficiency, best time to plant a tree. Like, I'm not going to notice that. The eyes definitely go towards this right here. My thumbnail guy always mixes it up. I will have him watch this. Okay, great. It's good that you have a thumbnail guy. Maybe what you could send him is different photos of you, because I'm seeing a lot of the same ones. We don't want to have like these repeats because it looks like the same video. And so, again, it's good to have variety in there, different photos, different text, as in what it says, but maintain the same brand look. This yellow really stands out. I would recommend sticking with this yellow font with a dark background. But overall, there's like little things here that can be improved. I can really get nitpicky here. But like, for example, like if we have text, we don't want it to create like friction. Like, so you see here how foundation is blended in with his hair? It makes the word foundation hard to read, and that can cause a visual disconnect. For some of these, like this background, you see how like how there's money in the background? It makes the text hard to read. You see that? Policy deep dives. So we want text against a solid background. Like even this here, like we don't want text on top of other graphics. Or even the money, like less is truly more. I practically guarantee that if we got rid of the money and just had like a solid blue background, it would do much better. Your thumbnails are good. You're in the right direction, but just remember that less is more, and we can clean these up a bit. Like, look at this one. This one is like, we have your face covered. I think you have two mouths too. I think he like, oh no, that's your neck. Okay, I thought he put the mouth in the bottom of the B2. Anyway, I wouldn't ever cover your face like this. It'd be better if you were just on the right and we had the text over to the left. He has many. I'm just reading your comments. Yeah, I'll email you after in terms of thumbnails. Because your thumbnail guy like isn't bad. I think he just needs some good lessons with graphic design. Like even this here, this goes for everyone listening. We never want a floating head. I think maybe this was an interview. Let's see. Who is that guy? Okay, I'm not going to watch the video, but it's kind of awkward that there's like a floating head like right on your shoulder. You see that? Like if this is an interview, it'd be better if he was like over here and there was no like space underneath his shoulders, because it just looks like, I don't know. I kind of think of like a ghost head just floating. It's kind of creepy. Anyway, so yeah. Again, like less is more. I think we could just have more solid background. Less money in the background. It's just a bit too much. If you notice, even your best videos aren't like crowded like that. Like look at your past videos. Like they have solid backgrounds, easy to read for the most part. This one's a little bit more acceptable. He kind of looks behind you. It still looks a little spooky, but it's better. But anyway, the point is that these thumbnails are much more clean. Less is more, truly. Okay, that was a reaction video. Gotcha. So this is good. So if you have like another person in there, like this is a good thumbnail. You see how you could see both of you clearly. You're taking up the frame. We know exactly what you're going to be talking about. This is good. This goes for everyone listening. If you're ever doing an interview on someone or a critique and people can recognize their face, like this is the best way to go about it. So I would even come back to this. Let's see. I'm looking at this overall. Yeah, again, we like your branding's evolved. Like we have red and yellow and this going on, but the data really doesn't lie. Like we got this going on. I would recommend that we come back to this. It's simple, it's clean, it's easy. Like my brain feels like when I look at this, my brain is like, simple, easy, nice. But when I come here, it's like, especially in this section, it's like, it's kind of like a bit chaotic. That's what I think of. Maybe it's just because of the fire and the flames in some of these, but I think it's just like these are just more clean. So yeah. Let me look at one other thing for you. Okay, so that's a live stream. Let me look at this one here. Oh yeah, I was actually watching this. Oh, an ad. Ignore the ad, everyone. Yeah, I actually love your content, by the way. You really do give a lot of value. Okay, so universal life policies. Okay, so it's good that you have keywords here. I would recommend that we add a little bit more. So YouTube scans the first 200 characters, and I would just add another sentence or two, just so that YouTube can gain more context about your video. I would even spell out some of these words. I would spell out IUL, GUL, because I would do both, because people are typing in both into YouTube. They're typing IUL, Indexed Universal Life. So just by having keywords in the title and in the description, you will appear better in search. Clarity call agent. Okay, cool. So you really have two. You're really funneling in two people. You're funneling in potential clients who would buy the product and also agents. So it's good that you have two links. This goes for everyone. If you're ever not using a link, I would get rid of it. So let's say hypothetically that, and this depends. If you're getting traction on these, keep them. But let's say you've been putting the link for your free book, but no one's been like downloading it. I would get rid of it unless you mention it in the video, because less is more. And there's been studies that's shown that the more links you show someone, the less likely they'll click on one, because there's so many options. So I would just remove links that you don't mention. And then I would also, the ones that you do mention, just remember to tell people about it at some point in the video so that they know. That's how we bridge the gap, everyone. Because of these 700 people who viewed the video, it's just simply bringing awareness. Like they're not going to know to go to the comments to click on a link. Some of them might, but most of them won't know. So I've worked with clients where they're like hesitant to do that because they're like, oh, like I don't want to sell or be sleazy, which Chris, I don't think that's you at all. I'm just talking to the rest of the people here. But if you have a call to action, it's just bringing awareness. And just it's simple math. Like the more people who know, the more people who are going to click on the link and take that next step with Chris. Nice. We do a lot of book sales, but maybe the swag. Yeah, maybe the swag. And again, you could have like videos where like you talk about the swag, but if you've been putting it in there for a while and it's not getting traction, then okay. So you mentioned the book in every video. That's what I figured. That was just an example. I don't think you need to have this subscribe here. Like this you can get rid of because people know to hit subscribe. It's simple. And by the way, if anyone's interested in insurance, check this out. Or even if you're open to it, because it's more than just insurance. It's actually like a financial vehicle that can help you in life. So it blew my mind. But let's see, amazing tools. Okay, so you got like Canva. Like I don't know about Canva. Like I don't think like your clients are looking at Canva. People don't see you as like Canva expert. So maybe we can get rid of Canva and any other ones that aren't relevant here. But okay, let's look at some other stuff. I know you go live and I know you do a really good job. So keep that up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be tuning into these. You give really nice value. I could tell right away that you stand out. Oh, I got to plug in my computer soon. Community. Nice. You see everyone? You see how Chris is just sharing from his life? Like, this is relatable. Like, this is fun. You have to realize that, like, people on YouTube, it's more than just us, like, encouraging them to buy something. This is more than just sales. This is inviting people on a journey, on a fun journey, where they achieve their dream outcome and they see you as the leader. So this is a mastermind that Chris did, day 5. And when you see this, like, you see community, you're like, oh, wow, I want to be a part of this. This is way more than just sales. This is inviting people on a journey. So share photos like this. Share things that are fun. Share things that people want to be a part of, and do so genuinely. Like, look at this. Like, he didn't have like doesn't look like he's trying to sell anything. He's just sharing. And when people see this, they might be like, wow, I want to be part of something like that. So one thing I'll say for you, Chris, is I would recommend using your community tab more. Let's engage with people. These 30K people, let's ask them polls. Let's get to know them. Let's do some quizzes, because people underestimate the community tab. If you have 30K subscribers, you can re-engage a lot of them just by posting in the community tab, because they could be subscribed, but maybe they're not actively engaged in you, as in like they're watching your stuff, they're leaving comments. And so community could be a really good way to spark that. So let's use this more. Even before you go live, I would recommend making a community post. You can do this today. I mean, I think you have one. You have one coming up at 2. You could even just tell people like, hey, everyone, going to go live. And when is it? An hour and a half? You could just tell people that. Sorry, I'm trying to plug in my laptop. That's not good. It's not charging. Hopefully I don't die on anyone. Okay, so I'll fix it in a second. But anyway, yeah, you could just tell people that you're going to go live at 2, and more people will tune in. Oh, that's cool. Just spent 2 months traveling, getting back to work now. You could even post more from your travels. And you don't even need a sales pitch. It'll just have people connect with you. So yes, there is that. Let me see your website now. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me just plug in my computer. Okay, so my computer's not charging, and that's concerning. All right, yep, that's really not good that my computer's not charging. Well, I'm gonna finish with Chris, and then I'll fix it. But anyway, let's look at this website here. So this picture's a little bit blurry. I don't know if you have like a better resolution of this photo. I think it's a great photo because you're promoting like a free clarity call. And so when I look at this photo, I could see you helping me. If I was seeking out your guidance and I saw this, I could see myself getting help from you. So I like this photo a lot. There's like a good balance between masculine and feminine. We have you, we have this female. And if I was a female looking into this, I would like be drawn in. There's like a good balance here. So that's really great. Let's see if we can improve this. Learn cash flow hacking to reach financial freedom. Used by 90% of millionaires to reach their financial goals 4 times faster. Learn cash flow hacking. Okay, maybe we can be more specific with this. Because learning cash flow hacking, like this could really mean anything. Like, there's a lot of methods that can be used to accomplish this. So maybe we can like be more clear. Maybe we can use that other tagline that you shared earlier. Achieve financial freedom through cash flow hacking. Let's see. Position yourself as John. You should not feel out of control by your financial strategy. This page is definitely lacking a video. So again, everyone, video is very important. This is a good photo, so I would keep that. Maybe we can just have like a section here with a video, Because again, if I recommend you to someone, let's say I was a customer, and let's say I wanted to recommend Life 180. Like, people don't have a sense of who Chris is if I just send them this link. So that alone can increase conversions. So let's make a video of you just explaining what problem you solve and for who. You can also explain the different strategies in terms of insurance. You could talk about your expertise and then have that call to action to book a free clarity call. I'm telling you, just that alone will help you a lot here. That way people know what they're getting on the phone for. And that way you're attracting the right people. Because what if anyone just comes across this page? You might be attracting the wrong type of client, because someone may come on the call and they didn't even know that you were teaching insurance. Especially for realtors, for people, I shouldn't say that, for people who are leveraging it for real estate. So I think we can really get clear on some of your messaging here so that we attract the right people, because I don't want anyone booking a call with you if they don't know. Let's see. I'm just testing something here. I'm not actually booking a call. Okay, so 10. What is your level of understanding of infinite banking? See, yeah, now you're asking him about infinite banking, but this is the first time I'm hearing about it. I'm curious if there's any more questions you need to ask them in order to determine if they are a qualified ideal client. Because again, I just don't want you getting on the phone with anyone. I want you to get on the phone with people who are your qualified ideal client. So that's a question for you to ask yourself. Is there anything else I need to know? I would think that there is. What is your total amount of free cash here? Oh, there's more. I'm sorry. What is your total amount of free cash every month? What was the primary objective? Okay, I take that back. There's a good amount of questions here, but maybe there's more. I did not see that. Good to know. I'm glad everyone. It's good that Chris here is asking these types of questions, because I've seen so many YouTubers just put a calendar link, and I actually used to do this, but I got on the phone with the worst people. Not to be mean, but like, these people just were not, like, they were nowhere near my ideal clients, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so that's why I added in an application, and I went from there. So yeah. So that's the most I'll say about this. I can really get nitty gritty on this copy here, but I think all of it can just be more specific about people who are using this strategy to leverage real estate. Because some of this is just like too broad. Like, get guide to financial success. Get guide. Is it just me, or is that grammatically not correct? Get guide. That's definitely not right. Get guidance to financial success. Yeah, get guidance. So I would go through this copy and just ask yourself, how can we improve it, and how can we make it less vague? Okay. Yeah, that's the most I'll say for you. And then one last thing, I would add in, actually, I think you're good. I was going to say to add in some more photos, but I think we have a good amount with the thumbnails. And I just noticed this background one here. We have your book. Maybe here we can add in a photo. Here you have your logo, but people want to see themselves in the process. So remember that first photo I said I could see myself getting guidance from you? Yeah, that'd be good if, and I think we might need a different page for agents. Maybe you already do, but if you don't already have another page, let's just see. This is like a funnel. I wonder what you're using. Gotcha, okay. Anyway, Chris, I could keep going on and on for you, but if you want to continue the conversation, we could even book a call. There's a link in the description below, and we can carry it on from there. But if anyone wants to go next, by the way, Chris, let me know how you found this. Yours is a really fun one for me, because I'm really excited now about insurance. I've had an IUL since I was 20 or 21. I'm 25 right now, and now I'm looking into whole life. So your stuff really excites me. I was telling my cousin about it yesterday, about whole life, and she wasn't intrigued by it, but I'm like, no, it's actually like really interesting stuff. And then like her eyes kind of glazed over, but I wish more young people would get into it. Oh, you're going to be back in the US tomorrow. Okay, yeah, there's a link below. You could just book a time if you're interested, and then we can go from there. I'm a little bit anxious about my computer because it's not charging, so give me 1 second. And if anybody wants to go next, if you signed up, put a comment down below as I'm figuring this out. Yes. Haha, it's working. Alrighty, I was a little bit worried for a second that we would need to continue this in another session because it definitely would have kicked me out if that happened. Awesome. Yeah, we can totally nerd out about insurance. It's convenient that I'm doing this review for you and I'm actually open to it because I find that most people aren't. I'm now talking about insurance to a bunch of people and there's so many objections. So I think it's just a nice coincidence and it's fate that I read this book and all the other ones because yeah. Awesome. If no one wants to go next, I'm going to pick someone at random. So if Shelly, Amanda, Christine, or Tracy are here, let me know and I will do you next. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate you sending the book. That's really nice too. Yeah, I'm on a spree right now with reading books about this topic. Okay, I'm going to just pick at random. We're going to do Tracy next. Tracy Beavers. Tracy Beavers. That's a fun last name. Tracy Beavers. That's a fun last name. Awesome. So again, everyone, I don't know if Tracy's here, but even if you're watching and I'm not reviewing you, there's still a ton to learn. Like even Chris's that we just did, there's so much to learn about what I critiqued him with. So we're going to do Tracy next. First thing I'm going to say for Tracy is that this is very difficult to read. So there's people with not the best eyes, and I'm one of them. And I have to really squint. Like I actually have to lean into my computer like this to read what we have here. So I would recommend that we cut down on some of this, and what we have left, we make it bigger. We make it nice and big. And one other thing I want to point out is here we have new video every week. However, that information really isn't important to everyone. Again, like the brain is trying to figure out how can this page help me? What value can I get? And it's also trying to conserve energy. And here we have this highlighted, but this doesn't tell me anything about what Tracy is going to do for me. So I would actually recommend that we eliminate this. We move you over to the right a bit and we make this bigger. I would remove your name because we have it right here. People can easily see your name. And let's have your tagline. You can tell from your tagline that you are a business/sales coach, teaching entrepreneurs how to grow their email list and attract consistent new clients without paid ads. That's a really good tagline. You see, everyone, how you could see what problem she solves and for who? The who is entrepreneurs. The problem she solves is growing their email list and attracting consistent clients without paid ads. Nice. So we know that this is organic. We know that this is for entrepreneurs. Yeah, no, this is great. And then, yeah, let's highlight that. I would get rid of this logo here. It's quite like washed out. Like you could barely see it. It's very, like the yellow blends in with the white, and this is just very thin. So I would remove it from the banner. It's not really accomplishing anything. And then let's see, grab my free marketing resource. Okay, so it's good that you have a free resource. So what you could do is, and Chris, by the way, if you're still here, I actually have some feedback for you. So you see here how like she has a call to action to a free resource. I would actually have an arrow that points down, and maybe you could say like, grab your copy now. And people, like the arrow is pointing down to the link section. And I think this is the link right here. So people aren't ever going to type in a link like this, especially if they're on the phone. Like, I shouldn't say never. It's very rare it's rare that they will type in a link like that. So it's better just to like have an arrow and tell them to go to the description. Let me pull up Chris really fast because Tracy, I think there's something that Chris had in the last session that you could benefit from. So notice how where's Chris? Hold on, I thought I had Chris's up. Let me open him up. Okay. You see how he has a picture of his free copy of his book? You see how like appealing that looks? Maybe we can have something like that for you. So maybe if you have like an image of this free resource, maybe we can add it here. And we can have that arrow that's pointing down. So going back to you, Chris, if you're still here, maybe we can have you over to the right, because I like how Tracy's over to the right, and then we can have your tagline here, and then we can have a picture of the book a bit smaller, and then the arrow pointing down. So I hope that makes sense. I had the visual in my head, and I hope I explain it well so that you all can do that. But I think that would be great for you, Tracy. And that'll make the freebie really appealing because people can see it and they know where to click in order to access it. Just that alone, these little things, everyone, they really add up. Because, again, what we're doing is getting people to know what we do. And once they get to know, like, and trust us, then we guide them to the website. And it's just easier if people can read our stuff and it's less crowded so that we don't, like, lose them. Because, again, the brain's trying to conserve as much energy as possible. So even squinting my eyes, that's energy that I have to use. Leaning in, that's energy. Like trying to go around things that don't do anything. Like my eyes have to skip through the logo and through this link here. It's better if it's just more concise. Less truly is more. Okay, so what I recommend for you, Tracy, as well, is in your profile photo, this is a really nice photo of you. However, the background, we have like this blurry background. It kind of blends in with your hair. You see like this white blur, kind of blends in with your hair a bit. It's a really nice photo, but maybe what we can do instead is remove that background and put in a solid background. So for example, I keep using Ryan because he has the best profile photo of people I'm subscribed to at the moment. But if you see him, you see how we could see his face clearly. You see how the yellow contrasts with his darker features. You see how he has darker skin and darker hair, and he has like a lighter background. That's what we want. Even if you look at my profile photo, I have darker hair, so I have a white background. Because if it was a black background, it'd blend in with my hair. I was reviewing, what's her name? I was reviewing Terry earlier, and she just made a comment. I just said that. It's funny. Our blonde hair is the worst for thumbnails. Yeah, so Terry as well had blonde hair. And if you have lighter features, you typically don't stand out against a lighter background. So what I'd recommend, and like this one, it's not so bad because like there's more contrast to it. But for the profile photo, I would definitely swap it out with like a solid background. Maybe you have another photo of yourself that you can use. But I'm telling you, like, it'll just come across as more professional and more visually appealing. Are you an online entrepreneur looking for ways to grow your email list without paid ads? Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. So this is good because I get a sense of what problem you solve and for who. Wanting to grow your audience, attract your ideal clients. Yep, that's good. You're in the right spot. Good. You have a good about section. You have what you do first. You assured them that they're in the right spot. And then you talk about your credentials. Yeah, no, this is good. Join me live every week. Oh, that's cool. So you go live every week. What I recommend is instead of having like all your socials here, because we have a lot here and it's kind of mixing in with your websites too, I would recommend that we put your website first. And then afterwards, we can have your free resources because the homepage for the About section is the best place to send them to first because it's all encompassing. I'm going to check this out too, by the way. I'm going to review this in a second. But overall, I think we can have that first. And maybe what we can do is, like for my channel, what I do is I have like one link that says like connect on social, and then it takes them to another page with all my socials on there, just to make this a bit less crowded. You could have it this way, but I was telling Chris earlier that the more links you have, there's been studies that show that the less likely people will actually click on them. So the cleaner and more concise, the more likely people will click. Awesome. So one thing I want to point out too is I'm noticing here that you have a lot of long form podcasts, which is a good strategy. It's a good strategy. And what you could do if you're not doing this already is I would repost the audio of those podcasts onto Spotify, Apple Music, and Google Podcasts. Those are the main three. And just so that you're casting a wide net. Because, like you're posting these videos, and I've had clients before where they would take the audio from their YouTube videos, post them on the podcast platforms, and they would reach bigger and wider audiences just through that. So I'm not sure what you're using for your website, but if you have Kajabi, which you might, sometimes I can tell if people have Kajabi. I know sometimes they look the same. Let me see. I can usually tell. I think you might have Kajabi. I think you do. Kajabi makes it easy to post on multiple platforms at once. It's just like a click of a button and they will put it on all three. So it's something to look into if you're not doing that already. But let's go back to this. Biggest thing for you, Tracy, is that notice how all these thumbnails are the exact same. They're all the exact same. And as a subscriber, there's a psychology that happens where people think that they're watching like the same video. So if, for example, like if I watch this video of yours and I'm like, wow, like Tracy's great, let me subscribe. And after I subscribe, if all these videos are showing on my homepage, I'm going to think I already watched it because it's the exact same thumbnail. And so what I would recommend is I would actually create a different thumbnail for all of these. Kind of like a more traditional YouTube thumbnail. I wouldn't use this podcast cover. And then I would like have a different photo in there, different text in there. I would treat it like a regular video, kind of like with these. How to go live without getting hives. You see how this thumbnail here has like a nice photo of you, easy to read text. And it's funny because there's some of your highest performing videos are these right here. You see these? All of these are easy to read. I would go back to this style for these. And I know that these are part of a podcast, but I would just treat them like regular videos in terms of like when you create the thumbnail and when you decide like what text to put on there. And another thing as well is I would get rid of the word episode because you have to remember that YouTube's a search engine and people aren't typing in episode 12. They're just not. And if somebody was typing in, like, for example, like this is a popular topic. Topics like how to make extra money in X amount of time. But the word episode kind of throws it off. If YouTube recommends this to someone because they like searched it, like they could actually not click on it because it says episode 10. And in people's minds, sometimes they think like of episodes being like in a sequence and they think, oh, I can't watch this until I watch episode 1 through 9. So I would get rid of this. And you could still say it in the video like, hey, everyone, this is episode 10. But I wouldn't put it at the forefront here because it's not helping you to rank and search. And even your current audience, it's not like appealing to them. They don't necessarily care that it's episode 8. They care on what they're going to learn, what the value is. So just that one thing alone can help. And I would actually recommend going back to these videos and I would adjust the titles and the thumbnails. And these videos can still pick up traction. Sometimes I give these recommendations to people and they just focus on making new content, but then they don't put any energy towards fixing what they already have. But that can actually be the best use of your energy because the amount of time it takes you just to fix everything can lead to more views than you taking that exact same amount of energy and making a new video with the recommendations. And that goes for everyone listening. If I made a recommendation today about your thumbnails or your titles, don't like instead of just focusing on the next video and implementing it there, like go back to your old stuff. I'm looking at you, Terry. I'm thinking of you because you could even look at your own thumbnails that I talked about today and go through it. I just see you in the comments here. But anyway, back to Tracy. Tracy. And you both had blonde hair with light backgrounds. That's so funny. Similarities. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to this right here. And maybe, like, I see here that we're using, like, I'm assuming that you did a photo shoot. Maybe it's time for, like, some new photos to be taken because I see that we're using a lot of the ones from the pink jacket and the white jackets. But you could even just take some photos in your house. Like, you don't need to go spend money on, like, a professional shoot. You could even just take more photos of you and we can use that for upcoming thumbnails because it's just a bit repetitive. You always wearing the same thing. Oh, interesting. So I see that these are audio podcasts. Maybe what we can do is maybe we can make these into video podcasts. So instead of you just recording audio, maybe we could film a video of you sitting at your desk here, kind of like this, just sitting at your desk and talking so that people can see you, and then you can extract the audio. That'll do much better because people, like a lot of people come to YouTube for video. There's been talks that they're going to transfer more into a podcast platform where it's just audio, but that hasn't really like taken full swing yet. It's mainly video. So I would recommend doing more video podcasts. That way people connect with you better and they're more likely to say yes to your services. Send Tracy a text message. Okay, so what I recommend for this is we definitely need to redo some of this. So notice here how we have send Tracy a text message. But why would I want to send you a text message? Maybe you explain it in the video, but if you have a call to action in your video to your services or to go to your website, I really need to scroll down and I would fix the formatting. So I would get rid of all this space in between these links, and then I would move the links up so that they're easier to find. So I would have like a short description about what the video is about because YouTube analyzes the first 200 characters. And then what I would do is below it, I would have links so that they're easy to find. And then in the video, just remember to tell people to actually click the links down below. Because if we don't verbalize it, most people don't know that there's links below or that you're even offering products and services as support. Cool, so you're going live. What I recommend, maybe you're doing this already, but I know that you're active on LinkedIn. Maybe what we could do is before you go live, I would announce it to like your LinkedIn audience, your Instagram audience, your Facebook audience. Let's funnel those people towards these live streams so that they're it's kind of like an event. And we can have people watching live and also people watching the replay. So yeah, that'll help with these. That'll help with engagement and interaction because I'm sure there's people on those other platforms that you have that don't even know that you go live and that they can tune in. So awesome. Let's go over to your website. So I'm a little bit against pop-ups like this on a homepage. Let's see how often that comes. How often does that pop up? Okay, so it's an exit pop-up. So if someone tries to leave, social media content made easy. Let's create social media content with ease. Grab my free social media content. Okay, that's interesting. It's a little bit, people nowadays, like, they don't respond as well to these pop-ups. They used to, but people are kind of used to just trying to exit. So I'm not saying like you shouldn't have this, but maybe we can have it like a bit more compelling. Maybe something like, wait, don't go, like grab my free social media content planner. Like I would say like what it is. Because like this is very small. Create 90 days of social media in just 90 minutes. Okay, so this is a video and a guide. Interesting. So I would like put more towards like the top here, like what this is. Like don't go, like grab my free video and guide to help you make social media content in just 90 days. And then you can have this here. It's like when I first see this, it's not like as appealing. Like it doesn't grab me and encourage me to stay. It's kind of a bit distracting too. I don't think you need it all together. Alrighty, let's create your roadmap to consistent monthly income. By the way, Tracy, I just thought of something. You could even do like go live like how I'm doing right now. And maybe you can critique something. Maybe you can critique people's emails that they send out to people. Maybe you can critique their content, kind of like how I'm doing for you. I think you can get a lot of really good traction and also clients for your business if we do that and if we funnel people into it. I see here that we're giving like advice, which is good, but I'm telling everyone like critiques and live Q&As do really, really well. Thumbnail twice is way better. Okay, can you remind me after I'm done with Terry, and then I will look at yours. I see that you changed your I see that you changed your profile photo. I'll get back to you in a second. Let me just finish with Tracy here. So, okay, one thing is that your logo is a bit blurry, looks a bit unprofessional. I would recommend that we fix that. Because again, like when I look at your branding, it looks a bit washed out. Like this logo looks a bit washed out, and there's moments when your hair does. That was honestly my first impression of you, was just visually, it was like, looked like things looked a bit washed out, a little bit too like light. So like these colors, maybe we can make this clear and maybe a bit darker. Let's create your roadmap. Let's connect. I recommend a video. Video is very important. Let's have a video towards the top here of you explaining what problem you solve and for who, what makes you the expert, and then let's give people a call to action. Let's see what this is. Let's connect. Book your free 30-minute connect call. Okay, so this is interesting. Get in touch. Okay, so I'm guessing people fill this out and then they submit it and then you email them back or they get directed to a calendar link. Okay, so that's good to have. Free guide. Just remember to respect your own time. I was telling, who was I telling before? I was telling someone before how in this session, how if we just have calendar links where anyone could just take our time, it's not as effective because anyone could book the call. So it's good to have like a questionnaire or a form that they fill out beforehand so that you can qualify them as an ideal client. Okay, improve, increase, ignite. Being an entrepreneur means hard work, but it shouldn't mean sacrificing your entire life. Here's what you'll experience. So this is all great. It'd be nice to hear like, hold on. Oh, okay, so we have this. It'd be nice to hear like more like tangible, if you will. Like I see consistent monthly income. Like this is all good, but what I would really like to hear is like if I was on this page, I would like to hear something more tangible, like, okay, like you're going to help me improve my email copy, or you're going to help me grow my email list. You know, like something like very like more concrete, because like creating steady income, accelerating your growth, reclaiming your time, like it's not as like concrete, if you will. Like as an entrepreneur, like if I was a potential client, like this wouldn't be enough for me to say yes. Like, because it's a little bit too broad. Like, oh, am I paying her to accelerate my growth, to reclaim my time? Like it's not like really concrete. Like I've seen some people just niche down with time management, and even that, like they're very concrete with, oh, I'm going to teach you these tools. Like I'm going to like, you know, like I'm going to help you save 30 hours a week or something like that. Like something very specific. Like I know what I'm going to get. But here, I don't know what I'm going to get. Like, what does consistent monthly income mean? Like, how much are you going to help me make? And how are you going to help me? Like, do you teach memberships? Like, I think that needs to be really clear on this page. Something more tangible, one-on-one coaching, big dreams. Yes. So, Tracy, I know you're not here right now, but if you would like help getting more like tangible and concrete, let me know, because this requires more of a discussion back and forth. There's a calendar link down below, and I'm happy to schedule a call with you where we brainstorm a little bit and also we just come up with a good roadmap for you, because it seems like we're casting a wide net, and just by being more clear and specific, I know that we can be getting more traction for you. And I know this because even when I niche down on YouTube to entrepreneurship, I was being broad, but I noticed that I was still doing a good job at turning viewers into buyers. So I'm like, okay, like let me really niche down and teach business owners how to generate leads through YouTube. So you see how like people know what they're going to get. Like people know exactly like what the process is, how I'm going to help them. So that's what we need for you. I know like you're big on email lists. So maybe it can be about growing their email list. And even that, like if you like, let's say you're going to do email lists, like we want to be really clear. Like I'm going to help you make a killer lead magnet. I'm going to help you like 2x your your email list. And you could even like say, I'm going to help you come up with like lead magnet templates for email. So after somebody downloads a lead magnet, then they're going to have like an email sequence that encourages them to buy like a paid thing, like something like very like tangible and specific. Because a lot of entrepreneurs don't just like buy, like they don't say yes to just like, oh, she's going to help me grow. Like that's a little bit too vague nowadays. Okay. Oh, hey, Fritz. Nice to see you. So our blonde, I would change my thumbnail twice. Is white or black background better? So I could definitely see you better with the black background. I could definitely like make out your features. The white doesn't look too bad though, because like there is some contrast. It does look clean. What I would do is, and I'm talking right now to Terry. If anyone else wants to share their opinion, feel free to, but I think it would depend on like your color palette for your thumbnails. So maybe, for example, like maybe like a nice blue or a nice purple could do well for you. And I would have it match the thumbnails. So unless you want to like I would just have the two match each other. So if you want to do like blue thumbnails, for example, I would have the profile picture match. I don't think you have to do like white or black, but between the two, black looks better because you could see you. But I think even like a nice blue, like a solid, maybe like a turquoise color could work really nice for you. Because yeah, it's the hair. I just don't want it to look too washed out. Also, I think you could be a bit bigger. You see how there's like a lot of space above your head in the photo? I think we could like blow you up a bit more just so that we can make out your features. If you look at my profile photo, like you could see like my facial features, but you seem a bit far. Even on my end, I had to zoom in. Whereas even someone like Fritz, he left a comment up above you. I could see his facial features. Like I could make him out, like his face more, because he's just closer. Awesome. Awesome, cool. So you got that message. Awesome. Is there anyone else here live who signed up who would like me to do theirs? I still have Shelly, Amanda, and Christine. Let me know. I'm going to see if anyone else filled out the form, because I would prefer to do people who are here live. It just makes it more fun. Alrighty. Let me close some tabs, then I'm going to pick someone at random. I think I'm going to do maybe one more. I think I'm going to do one more. I have 3 people who signed up, but I would really just prefer if they were here. So I might reserve them for the next channel review session. Because I know they said they couldn't make it, but I just think it's better. So I'm either going to choose between... That's funny. My longest live stream was 6 hours. I'm not tired. I'm not like tired because I rested well before this, but like I typically don't schedule like calls with clients after this because like my brain feels like a bit fried. I don't know how else to explain it. Like I feel totally fine now, but after this, like I'm gonna need to relax a bit. So I'm either gonna do we want to focus on a niche that helps with the voices or with food? Food is gonna make me hungry, but I'm kind of leaning towards the food one. All right, we're gonna do food. So there's someone who helps with vegan food. We're gonna do them. So we have plant-based foodie. That's Shelly. So I'm gonna do Shelly's next. Alrighty. Be careful, everyone. You might get a bit hungry, even if you're not a vegan eater. Okay. By the way, Tracy, I know you're here. If you want, we could even schedule a call and we could talk more about your profile photo, your color scheme, and just an overall plan for you to be successful. So hopefully you can hear me, Tracy. I hope you didn't leave, but if you want, there's a link down below and we can schedule a call and we can talk more because you're in a really good niche and the mental health space is seriously one that's important. And typically, I did a lot of research with this because of my client who's also in the mental health space. And typically with elections, there's an election coming up this year. Typically with elections, mental health goes down. And also after the summertime, mental health goes down. So you can position yourself really well just by having your offers in place, having the thumbnails right, attracting the right people with SEO and with topics, thumbnails, and titles. So if you want, we can schedule a call for that, because my client, she really took off during COVID. Because now she was lucky in the sense that she had the website and the channel up and running, and then when COVID hit, like literally boom, channel took off. So it's all about positioning. And I find with with certain niches, you can actually time stuff. There's graphs that show mental health, and literally in the summer, mental health issues are on, how would you say that? Mental health isn't as bad in the summer, at least in America. I know like Australia, it's flipped, but putting them to the side, mental health isn't as good during elections and during the winter. Like, people get depressed. I live in a warm area, and that even goes here. So it's across the US. So cool. Let's do plant-based foodie with Shelly. Plant-based foodie. Let's cook some plant-based vegan food. Yummy. I don't know why this looks funny. Maybe it's just my computer. Hold on. Let's refresh this. Her banner looks off. Okay, that looks better. Yeah, there's totally positivity before the summer, especially because people are off of school if they go to university, and there's a lot of seasonal jobs that are off during the summer. So people have vacations. There's holidays like 4th of July, and yeah, that's huge. So okay, I'm gonna do Shelly next. So plant-based foodie, let's cook some plant-based vegan food. Okay, so yeah, I definitely know what you do here, Shelly. I think the formatting on my computer is just a bit off today, but I would just double check your banner on mobile to make sure that the text isn't cut off, because for some reason, why is it so weird today? So typically it cuts off on mobile about here. So I'm just worried that like you or the text here will be cut off. And most people will be on your channel on a mobile cell phone. So we just want to fix that so that when people look at it, they can actually read what you do and they could see you. So I would double check that. And this text here, I would make it bigger and bolder. Let's cook some plant-based vegan food is very thin and very hard to read. So just by making it bigger, it's easier to read, thus people know what we do. For you, it's kind of clear. It's clear from the thumbnails what you do, but we're clear here because we specify that it's vegan food. So yes, let's make that bigger. Let's make it clear. And I would even recommend putting your name here, because generally speaking, people tend to remember names more than they do channels. Like even before, I remembered you as Shelly, but plant-based foodie didn't really stick with me. And if we have people watching you and they want to find your channel again later, they're more likely to actually search up the name Shelly. So maybe we could do plant-based foodie with Shelly. Just that one thing, so that your name is appearing in search too. And I'm going to give you same advice that I was giving Tracy and Terry. I would recommend a solid background for you, just because like the white is meshing in a bit with your hair. And we want since you have lighter hair and lighter features, we want like a darker solid background. And we don't want to cut off your head here. You see how your hair / head is cut off? It's better for you to be centered, looking straight. Here your body's kind of tilted. It looks like you're looking up a little bit. But we want a profile photo where we can clearly see you. Where's the one I like? I like Ryan's here. We want one where camera's at eye level. You're clear. We can see you. Those are the best profile photos. You see how Cody has darker features, darker hair, and she has like a light background? Same thing with Ryan here. Whereas if you have darker features, we want a lighter background. This is just so that people can make out your features. And we typically don't want things in the background affecting us. Nick here kind of looks like he has a pole sticking out of his shoulder. Like, these little things make a difference. I've seen people where they have like plants behind them and it looks like the plant is coming out of their head. We don't want that. Like, this looks a little bit off. Like, she has looks like things are coming out of her. So like if you look from far away, it looks off. So I would adjust that. This is a really nice photo of you, but maybe we can have this in the banner. And same thing with the banner. You see how your head's cut off? I think this photo would look really nice in the banner, and then we can replace this right here. Thank you, Fritz. I really appreciate that comment. It was fun reviewing your channel. When was it? For the last session? The last session was the first one where I had like everyone there live, and everybody had a niche that was connected to each other. It was crazy. So yes, I love reviewing people who are passionate. They're in this for a good reason, because I'm on a mission to help with the content on YouTube. I think there's so much garbage content out there. Someone left a comment on my YouTube the other day, and they're like, Ari, what are you talking about? Like, I get way more views than you, and I've been doing this for a less amount of time. And I look at their channel, and I'm sorry, it was like just the most mindless content. And that's what's going viral nowadays, is this garbage content that's not doing good for society. It's just keeping people stuck to their phones. It's things that doesn't really help people to become conscious. What Shelly's doing here is it's helping people to become conscious with their food. Isn't that making for a better society? Yes, it might not be trendy now, but I'd rather have all of you have less views and be more conscious and reach the right people versus people who just aren't serious about what you're teaching, whether it be food or faith. I'm looking at you, Fritz, or mental health. Like, this truly needs to be a bigger mission that we all do, is just putting out good content that does good. It actually, like, if I think too much about it, I actually like get really like angry about how many people like are just putting out bad content that doesn't advance humanity. Okay, I'm off that tangent. But anyway, so Shelly, you have really nice videos here. Honestly, what I've seen in your niche you can get by without putting your face in the thumbnail. I'm actually someone who consumes videos like this, and the videos that do really well don't need a face. So I used to always research recipes, and so let's even like I would research how to make a smoothie. I really like smoothies in the morning. And so if you look at the thumbnails for smoothies, he's an exception. That's kind of funny. But like a lot of them, it's just like a picture of the smoothie. You see that? There's times when you can have it, but you could even get away without a photo. If you do decide to include yourself in the thumbnail, what I would recommend is that you take it like kind of like how he had it. Like you take it with the food, or like kind of like how she has it. Like she has a blender, but typically you don't need to edit yourself in. These videos would likely do much better if you weren't in it. It's a little bit awkward because you're kind of just like floating in the corner here, but it's not needed. Less is more, and I would like for these, like this one's fine because like it's like you have it in your hand, but these it's not necessary. Even one of your most popular videos, there was no picture of you. And I bet you a lot of these other ones would be ranking towards the top 2. We just need like a quality picture of the food. So for example, like this isn't a quality picture of the green beans. Looks a little bit blurry and not as presentable versus some of these other ones, like these sweet potato fries look really presentable, and its clear image has like good quality. So I would have more of that. So yeah, no photo is needed of you. Also, the text is kind of hard to read for a lot of these. So like look at this. Like the text is hard to read. Like it's very small, and then everyone listening, I want you to pay attention to this. You see how she has like the 251 timestamp? That's how long the video is. You don't ever want to put text in that area because it will cover it up. On mobile, it's bigger. That number is like that big. And so it will cover up your text. So I would never put like images. Like you see how this is covering up a lot of her face? I would never put text or images there because it's just going to cover it up. Here it's fine because it's not really covering it, but especially for text, like this hummus is covered up and you can't even read it. So that can affect a video significantly. Let's see your latest ones. Okay, let's see here. I think the biggest thing is just the text is hard to read. Like this font isn't the best. And then also sometimes we put the text with a white background. You see how this plate is white? It's kind of like blending in. So when you have text, it's good to have like something solid behind it. You like here it was good, but it was just very small. Let's try to find a good example. Like you see here we have smoothie and it has like a solid purple background. That's good. Or I'm trying to find a really good example. Let's look up something else like vegan. Let's look up your niche, vegan food. Okay. I'm trying to find a really nice example. A lot of them you don't even need text. But like this one's easy to read. Like rice and beans. Because there's nothing like white behind it that's interfering with the white text. This one's easy to read. Something that's just like bigger, bolder, and a better font. That's really the biggest thing here that'll help you to improve. Let's see what else we have. I think I saw that you have like a... What do we have going on here? I'm trying to see what you're offering. Get blueberry recipe here. Okay, so you have recipes here. That's good. I'm seeing what else you're offering. So just remember in your videos, if you have a recipe in the description, just remember to verbalize that. So there's a channel that I reviewed in the past. I wish I could tell you the exact date because then you could look at that recording and find who it was. But there was someone who I was helping, and they were in a niche where they were helping with, whatchamacallit, like jarring. So they would put food in jars, and that's what their whole channel was about. Like how to jar pickles, how to jar peaches, all this different stuff. And on their website, they had it was called like Canning University. And so people could join this membership and they could become part of a community of people that were just interested in canning. And when I saw that, it really just showed that you can monetize like any passion, knowledge, or skill, because she was getting traction with that. She had testimonials, she had members, and when the members joined, they got access to the community, they got access to all these recipes, they got access to these videos and tutorial videos that she made, just teaching about what you need to know to can things properly. It was so intriguing to me. I think we can have something similar for you because I don't see how else we're monetizing this. I see we have recipes, but I think we could be offering some type of recurring membership that people invest in monthly. If you have that anywhere and I'm missing it, let me know. But from what I'm seeing, I don't see it on here. And so let me know if you're open to that. I could even, if you're interested, I could find that YouTube channel and send it to you because I think it'd be a really great way for you to monetize. I don't know if I'm missing it. Let's see, about. Yeah, it looks like you don't have one. Even if you do have one, notice how I'm really digging to find it and I can't. So that means that your viewers are likely struggling to find it if it exists, but I'm guessing that it doesn't. If you were like really interested in making that happen, I put my calendar link down below. That's for people who signed up for this session today. You can use that link and we can have a follow-up discovery call where we talk about how we can make these ideas that I shared with you today actually come to life. Because this is seriously something that you could do nowadays, is even if you have a smaller YouTube channel, even with your YouTube channel right now, like picture a stadium of 361 people. It's a lot of people. I guarantee that at least 3 of them would be willing to pay at least a couple $100 a month to become part of that, and you can have recurring revenue. That's something that I do, and it's something that I am helping other people to do because it's so powerful. So yeah, Shirley, if you want help with that, let me know. But I think overall, your channel's good. I think we could just be more consistent. I see that you have been lately, like in the last month, but I see that we had a bit of a drop off. So let's really reconnect with our bigger mission and purpose here. And by doing that, that will ignite us to want to show up. It will fuel us to do what we know we're supposed to do to make our dreams a reality. So yes, Let me know how you found this review, Shelly. I hope it was helpful. I did have 2 other people who signed up. Not Shelly, Amanda and Christine. If you're here, let me know, but I think it's best if I wait until the next session because I would prefer if you were here live so that you can get the most value. So going once, going twice. Christine and Amanda, if you're here, let me know. Alrighty, so I'm going to finish off with some last notes. If you're still here, still stay on because this is some important information. Let's present. Okay, so I know we covered a lot today. Believe it or not, that was the tip of the iceberg. I know it was a lot, and again, this recording will be available for you to fully digest it because I've worked with a lot of people through these reviews, and typically they need to watch the recording and fully digest it so that they can implement the things that I recommended and just take those next steps. It's not enough just to learn something, but we also want to implement it. But yes, I did my very best today to give you the most amount of value. But of course, this is only now it's been 2.5-hour session, and I can only spend so much time with each of you. And so if you would like to do more of a deep dive, if you would like more of my guidance, I do have my YouTube Business Accelerator. This is a group and also the option for private coaching program. And there's also the potential for some done-for-you services. So if you need help with the funnel or email copy or your SEO for your YouTube videos, remember, I'm here to help you turn your viewers into buyers of what you're offering. So I will help you from everything, from clarifying your offers to improving the web pages to driving the right YouTube traffic and also analyzing the data so that we can continue to do what works. So this is for YouTube entrepreneurs who are ready to increase sales of their courses, coaching, and memberships. It's for entrepreneurs ready to refine their strategy and their offers with data-driven insights, to double their leads in the next 30 days with optimized funnels, to boost their YouTube traffic, to grow their influence and their revenue. For many of you, this doesn't even mean more subscribers. It just means directing your current subscribers over to your web pages and have those be refined so that they take the next step with you. What this is mainly all about is creating a life and business that's more aligned with your mission. There's a lot of YouTubers and entrepreneurs who are taking these steps, but it's not truly aligned with them and what they want to do. They created a business and a YouTube channel that doesn't fulfill that ideal dream life that they initially had. They've fallen into a trap where they're doing things because they feel like they need to, not because they want to, and they feel like they're on this YouTuber hamster wheel. But I'm here to help you reconnect with your purpose, remember why you're doing this, and do what you know you're supposed to do in order to create that dream life and the change that you wish to see. So this is what I will guide you through. I do have a 5-step process. This is in alignment with Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where the end goal is self-actualization and contribution. But in order to get there, we have to start with building the foundations. So that includes reviewing and refining and getting clear on your ideal audience, your offer, your niche, your branding. And then I help you to create consistent and high quality content on YouTube that feels good to you. I know today in particular, I was recommending that a lot of people go live. However, I'm here to help you with your cup of tea. Going live is great, but maybe, it's not for you. And we can come up with a consistent content strategy that you love, that gets you out of bed in the morning. And regardless, that's going to lead to you building a stronger community around your channel. And by making the right offers to them that are in service to them, that will help you to establish cash flow and to contribute to other people's lives in the way that you know that you were meant to. So this is a cyclical process. So it's always going in the circle. So it starts with creating and refining your offers and your web pages, and then we drive YouTube traffic, analyze the data, and then from there, we continue through the process. Even I'm consistently going through this process. After looking at the data, you see what works, you see what doesn't, And then from there, you can create and refine your offers and your web pages. Yes, so I'm going to answer that in a second. Tracy. Oops, hold on. Terry, my bad. I was reading wrong. Yes, Terry, I'll address that in a second here. This is a 90-day program. And so essentially, these are the 7 things that need to be in alignment for everything to work. So you always got to know what your dream lifestyle is. Because I'm not here to help you create a YouTube channel and a business that doesn't give you the dream lifestyle that you want. So that needs to be in alignment with your target audience, the offers that you're providing for them, your content. There needs to be a call to action that leads to a page that compels people to take that next step, whether it's to book a sales call or to buy now. And that's when you can contribute by delivering on your promise, and then we can scale from there. So to answer your question more, Terry, so yes, this is a 90-day program, and if you're interested, there's a link down below, and we can book a call, and I can answer any questions that you have from there. We can see if we are a good fit. But I do customize it for people because I do have done for you options. So what helps Terry, for example, may be different for Tracy, might be different for Chris. And so I take each person and I customize what's best for them. But it's a combination of group support, of one-on-one support, and also some done for you if needed. So this is for you if you are a YouTuber and an entrepreneur who knows in their gut that they were meant for great success. Everyone who I works with, they had this feeling, whether it's since they were a kid or maybe, they had like a breaking point in their life where they saw something in the world that they knew needed to be improved. Maybe they saw people who, were struggling with mental health and they felt called to help with that because maybe they dealt with that too. Or maybe there's people who feel called to serve people with weight loss because, their whole family was overweight and they saw all the issues and the health problems that it brings. And so they feel called to serve that. And so they know in their gut that this is what they were meant to do and they're meant to be successful with it. This is for you if you're ready to ascend to the next level with unshakable conviction. You're confident in yourself. You know you can do it. You're ready to get to that next level. Maybe you've been at a level for a while and you feel like you've been plateauing, you feel kind of stuck, but you're just ready to get to that next level and you're ready to do what it takes. This is for you if you trust in yourself to take full responsibility, to show up, and to do the work. My clients who succeeded the most, they don't point their fingers at me. They know that they are responsible for their success and they do what's required. Of course, I'm there to guide them, but I'm not here to hold their hand. They know that it's up to them because this is their mission. This is their purpose. I'm here to help you with your vision and with your mission, but at the end of the day, it's yours and you're the leader in it. This is for you if you're coming from a place of empowerment and enthusiasm. You're looking for that right leader to guide you in doing this all effectively. You're ready to clean up any energy leaks hindering your full power and abilities. Let's face it, we're humans. Sometimes we have what I call energy leaks. Those can be limiting beliefs. They can be maybe our family is telling us, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? This is a waste of time. That's like an energy leak. It's taking away from your power. And so I help people to overcome those so that they can fully step into their power and abilities. This is for you if you intend to run a YouTube business that thrives on authenticity. Authenticity is what I preach. You want to be yourself. That doesn't mean that you're perfect. No one's perfect. That doesn't mean that you don't make mistakes. No. This means that you are striving to be the real version of you, not a fake version. You're ready to let your light shine, to be you, whatever that means, whether you're super funny, whether you are super wise. We don't want to hinder your light. We want to let that shine because that is exactly what people are going to resonate with. And this is for you if you're committed to being a renowned expert and leading voice in your niche. So again, it's a 90-day program. I also have options for extended ones depending on your goals and your situation, but there is a calendar link down below and you can book that and I can answer any questions and I can customize your success blueprint for you. So yes, you can book that down below. Also, you can email me with any questions. I'm happy to answer anything. But yes, I'm here to support you and your goals. So that's what I'm here to do. I have a great team as well. Here, let me stop sharing this. I have a great team as well. And combined, we have, I think, close to 15 years of experience doing this. So I've worked with TEDx. I worked with really big channels to do this. And it always comes from authenticity and remembering the bigger mission. Some people are really strapped to money when they enter this, and money is important. It's hard not to be strapped to money when you have little kids or when you have bills to pay. But the main focus, I'm telling you, needs to be on the mission, because income is always a byproduct of that. Fall in love with your target audience. Fall in love with that vision of them being more improved. And that's when things will fall into place. And of course, I'm here to help with the technical aspects. We can't just wish things to happen and everything works out and falls in our lap the way we want it to. No, we gotta show up. We gotta do the science of everything, having the right content, the right videos, the right web pages. So I'm here for it all. If you have any questions, let me know. But it was my pleasure and honor doing this live stream today. And again, I do these twice a month. So if you know of anyone, feel free to share with them the link. I will likely have the next one the first week of September. So stay tuned for that. Alrighty, everyone. I will see you for the next session. Have a good rest of your week. Bye, everyone.